Chapter 2028. The scenery here was picturesque, the birds were chirping, and the flowers were fragrant. She felt that the scenery here was really not bad, if there were no eyesores blocking the way. Sima Yuyue, you are finally willing to come out of your turtle shell. I thought you were going to hide in the sound sect for the rest of your life. Qin Kai sat on a huge underworld beast and looked at Sima Yuyue with disdain. In his opinion, Sima Yuyue did not come out for a long time because she was afraid of him. As for the rumors in the sect, he did not believe them. How could a person be so powerful? It must be a misunderstanding. You still dare to ride the underworld beast that you tamed? Aren't you afraid that history will repeat itself? Sima Yuyue could tell that his mount was only tamed and not contracted. Qin Kai was stepped on. He was almost killed by the underworld beast that he tamed. This was the most humiliating thing for a beast tamer. In these 3 months, those people did not dare to say anything in front of him, but he knew how they laughed at him behind his back. And all of this was caused by Sima Yuyue. If it was an ordinary person, he would immediately tear that person into pieces. But since it was her, he could let it go. Sima Yuyue, if you are willing to follow this young master can let bygones be bygones. In the end, it was his lust that prevailed. He did not even care about the humiliation. Sima Yuyue heard his words and was amused. As the saying goes, those who are lustful die early. If the beauty is not dead, how can I die? Qin Kai saw her smile and his heart flew away. The arrogance just now turned into a wretched pervert. Sima Yuyue was disgusted by his appearance and frowned in disgust. Every frown and smile is flirtatious. Even a frown is so seductive. Qin Kai's eyes were glued to her body and saliva was faintly flowing out from the corner of his mouth. Sima Yuyue opened her hand and a jade flute appeared in her palm. She played with the jade flute and said, I'll give you 10 seconds to disappear from my sight. Otherwise, don't blame me for not giving face to the beast tamer school. Yo, you're really charming when you're angry. Qin Kai felt that he couldn't wait any longer. This time, he had only seen her and had not interacted with her. Before he could speak to her, he was sent flying by Wu Lingyu. Today, when he talked to her, saw her smile, and saw her get angry, his heart was itching. He waved at the people behind him and said, you guys go and capture her. Sima Yuyue's name had spread throughout the Yin sect for the past 2 months. Those who came with Qin Kai at this time were all his loyal followers. They obeyed his orders. Hence, when he gave the order, these people immediately attacked Sima Yuyue. Before coming here, Qin Kai had said that as long as he didn't die, it was fine. Even if he was injured, he could use pills to save him. Therefore, they didn't have any scruples and only wanted to capture her. However, just as they were about to touch her, she suddenly disappeared from where she stood. It seems that you've chosen a path of no return. Her voice came from all around, making them unable to locate her. Then, the melodious sound of the flute surrounded them. When they couldn't see her, they subconsciously listened to the sound of the flute. As they listened, they felt very sad and very sad. Their tears fell uncontrollably. What's the point of living like this? Qin Kai's manservant's face was full of tears. He condensed spiritual energy and chopped his own head. Just like that, he fell down. I've done too many evil things in this life. I can't repay those people. I can only atone for my sins in my next life. Another manservant took out a knife and stabbed it into his own heart. Then, the others began to commit suicide one after another. Before Qin Kai's men could even touch her, most of them had died. Qin Kai's eyes became blurred. When he was about to kill himself, a hidden weapon knocked away the sword in his hand. If I were you, I wouldn't do this. The cold voice was somewhat familiar. Sima Yuyue came out of the space and looked at Kanan Xian who was halfway up the mountain. I didn't know that your heart was so good. I just don't know if the Beast Tamer sect will accept your kindness. Sima Yuyue smiled faintly, but there was no smile in her eyes. We're helping you. Don't be so ungrateful. Konoha Chi said, do you know who this pervert is? The son of the beast tamer sect's vice sect leader. I heard that he's an only child for several generations. Sima Yuyue said, but, for someone who's always thinking about me, it's the same even if he's a single child for several generations. He's not just a member of the beast tamer sect. His grandfather is an elder of the main sect. If you kill him, there will be a lot of trouble in the future. Konoha Chi said. Didn't you say that the sect doesn't care about the sect members? It seems that this is only for those who have no background. Sima Yuyue sneered. How can there be absolute fairness in this world? Konoha Chi said, if you kill him, the beast tamer sect won't do anything to you on the surface. But secretly, they'll make things difficult for you and won't give you a tamed beast. What can you do? I don't need it. Sima Yuyue said indifferently. This kind of beast tamer sect wouldn't be able to tame anything. Even if you learn the sound attack, you still need a contract beast. You can't always be alone. Konoha Chi said. I said that I don't need them to tame me. It's not that I don't want a contract beast. If you don't want a tamed beast from the beast tamer sect, then what about your underworld beast? Tame, of course. I can tame it myself. Why would I need to ask them for help? Sima Yuyue turned and left. Since you saved him, then send him back. Qing Kai stopped playing the flute and stood in place. When Yuyue passed by him, she took out a pill and stuffed it into his mouth. Then she left. She. Konoha Chi pointed at her back and said a few words, but couldn't finish his sentence. She's a beast tamer. I heard it. Kanan Xian said. How could she, in addition to being an array master, she was also a seeker spirit master. Now they knew that she was a beast tamer. Looking at her confident look, they were afraid that this beast tamer's rank wasn't low. They felt that it was inconceivable, but they believed what she said. It's impossible for such a person to not have a reputation in the ghost realm. It seems that we haven't been out for too long, so we don't know what's going on outside. Kanan Xian murmured. The two of them flew to the foot of the mountain. Qing Kai was still unconscious, surrounded by corpses. How long has this Yue been here? Her sound attack is already so powerful. Konoha Chi exclaimed. They saw with their own eyes how these people killed themselves. This scene, just looking at it made them panic. She had only been in the sound sect for 3 months, but her sound attack had already reached such a level. No, she used poison. The two factors worked together. Konoha Chi said, go wake him up. Okay. Konoha Chi walked over and slapped Qing Tsaitsai's face to wake him up. Chapter 2029. When Qing Kai was sent back, although he was already awake, his whole body was in a daze. He kept muttering, so scary, so scary. Kai, what happened to you? Qing Kai's father, Qing Shi, saw his baby son in a daze, and cried out in pain. What the hell is going on? How did he become like this? The person who helped him in was from the Beast Tamer Gate. He said, we also don't know what happened. It was Formation Gate's Konoha Chi and Kanan Yi who sent him back. Where are the people around the young master? Tell them to roll over here. Qing Shi looked at Qing Kai again. That silly look, could it be that he really became a fool? Konoha Chi said that they are all dead. What? How did they die? Who did this? They didn't say, they just sent the young master back and left. But we have already sent people to investigate, there should be news soon. After a while, the people who went to investigate the news came back. The battle between Sima Yuyue and Qing Kai was not a secret. Many people saw it, so it was not difficult to find the news. Sima Yuyue. It's this Sima Yuyue again. Qing Shi gritted his teeth, he couldn't wait to kill her. When Qing Kai heard Sima Yuyue's name, his body suddenly trembled. He shouted, so scary. So scary. Quickly go and ask the people from the Alchemy Gate and Dr. Gate to come over and see if there is anything wrong with Kai. Qingshi roared. I have already sent people to invite them, they should be here soon. Vice sect leader, who is this Sima Yue? How long has she been in the sound gate? How can she use such a high-level sound attack? Could it be that she already knew it before entering the sound gate? Qingshi's guard said. It shouldn't be. Qingshi thought for a while and denied his idea. This time when she entered the sound gate, I saw her sound attack. It's not that powerful to make everyone commit suicide. But many people saw it. Her flute sound made those people commit suicide. She must have used other methods. Qingshi said with certainty. Are those bodies still there? If they are, let people check it carefully. Yes. Some people went out and some came in. Vice Sect Master, the doctor is here. Let them in. 2 people wearing doctor's robes walked in from outside. When they saw Qingshi, they cupped their hands in greeting. Before they could say anything, Qingshi led them to Qing Kai and anxiously said, Take a look at him. What's wrong with him? Mu Ji was the favorite disciple of the 9th elder of the physician sect, and her medical skills were well known in the Yin sect. Because he had a good relationship with Qingshi, he would usually come over whenever there was a problem. Qian Qingkai was injured by the nether beast, and he was the one who came to heal him. Mu Ji was surprised to see Qingsai's reaction. Qingkai was considered a devil incarnate in the secret sect. He was the only one who could torture others to such an extent. No one had ever seen him frightened to such an extent. Hurry up and take a look at him. Qingshi urged. Mu Ji examined Qingkai and said, He's scared. The other party must have done something to deepen the fear in his heart. Other than that, there are no other injuries. Qingshi heaved a sigh of relief when she heard that he wasn't injured. As long as his body is fine, it's fine. Vice leader, we can't be happy too early. Although his body isn't injured, his current state is even more troublesome, Mu Ji said. Is it very serious? If it's not handled well, it may cause an inner demon. Mu Ji's expression was solemn, indicating that the current situation was very troublesome. If he didn't see his own people commit suicide, how could it have gotten to this point? I've seen more scenes in the past. Qingshi felt that she might be exaggerating. How could it be so serious? I just said that the other party used some kind of method to intensify the fear in his heart and make his heart collapse. Otherwise, with Qingsai's character, he wouldn't be scared to this extent. Mu Ji explained, we have to get rid of the inner demon for him now. This Sima Yue. Sima Yue? Is she the one who did this? That's right. Tell me in detail what happened and see if I can find out the reason. Qingshi told her everything that happened today, including the order of those people's deaths. So, her sound attack is already so powerful? Didn't she just enter the Yin sect not long ago? And in the 3 months, Lu Yan has been in seclusion for more than 2 months. Who taught her? That's true, so I guess she used some other method. Did you find anything strange in Qingsai's body? Qingshi asked. Strange? Are you talking about poison? I'm just guessing. Mu Ji also felt that this guess was possible. After all, Sima Yue had only entered the Yin sect for a short time. It was not easy to make those people lose their minds and commit suicide. I didn't find anything, he replied. But I'm not good at poison. Many poisons are not easy to find. Why don't you ask the people from the poison sect to take a look? Qingshi then asked someone to invite the people from the poison sect. The beast-taming sect status in the Yin sect was generally higher because most of the people in the Yin sect were professional masters. Their strength was much weaker than spiritual masters. However, they had strong mental power, so they could contract many beasts to improve their strength. Therefore, everyone would generally give the beast-taming sect some face. The person who came alone was called O Yuling. She was a femme fatale in the poison sect and had a good relationship with Qingshi. Qingshi sent someone to invite her, so she came over. I heard that your son was frightened. Why didn't you find someone to comfort him? Why did you come to me? I don't know how to treat a child's illness, the fiery figure said as soon as she came in. If that's the case, I wouldn't have come to you, Qingshi said. I want you to check if there's poison in Kai's body. Poison? I suspect. Mage just checked, but she didn't find anything. Mage has some poison skills. She didn't find anything? No. Then why do you suspect that he's been poisoned? Qingshi told her guess, and Yuling became interested in Sima Yue. She's just a child who has just entered the Yin sect. Why do you care so much about her? Well, since you said so, I'll take a look for you. She came to Qing Kai's side and saw that he was in a daze. He was indeed abnormal. She checked Qing Kai's body and raised her eyebrows. Everyone knew that this was a sign that she was interested. How is it? You're right. He's been poisoned, and there are two of them. One of them has lost his mind, and the other one. Chapter 2030. What's the other type? Qingshi asked when he saw that she did not say anything. The other type, if I'm not wrong, will make your child unable to raise his little brother. Unable to raise his little brother? Doesn't that mean he will not be able to do it in the future? Qingshi's eyes narrowed. Can you cure it? This poison is very strange. I don't know if I can make an antidote for it. Yuling said uncertainly. I don't know who made this poison, but it's actually so special. Hee, interesting. Yuling, you have to cure Kai's poison. You know, my family has only one son for more than 10 generations. If he can't do it, then our family won't be without descendants. Qingshi solemnly begged her. I've told you before that your child will suffer sooner or later if he's like this, but you've never taken my words to heart. Yuling said with some sarcasm. What did you say at that time? Oh, my son, he has the right to be arrogant. Since he likes it, then let him play. Anyway, if anything happens, I'll take responsibility. He's poisoned now, he's not really dead yet. If not for Jia Nan's heart, you would only be able to collect his corpse today. Qingshi was speechless because he did think that way before. Who knew that someone would not give him face? It's all because of that Sima Yue. If not for her, Kai wouldn't have become like this. TSK, your own son is useless, but he went to provoke others. Now you're blaming it on a little girl. Don't you feel embarrassed? Qingshi, I say, you're getting worse and worse. Yuling was merciless when she scolded people. Even if it was the Beast Tamer sect's vice sect leader, she would still scold him. Qingshi also knew that, but when he saw his son like this, his heart was filled with anger. However, he could not reason with Yuling because her temper was very strange. If he were to argue with her, she might just leave in the next second. You're right. I'll restrain him well in the future. He replied, can you cure the poison in his body? You've already asked me once, and I said I'm not sure. I've never seen this poison before, and the composition seems to be very strange. Whether or not we can research an antidote will depend on the research later. Yuling said, however, you don't have to worry too much. You won't die for the time being. I'm done with the examination. I'll go back and develop the antidote first. I'll get you to deliver the first antidote. As long as the poison is cured, you can get someone to prescribe some medicine for him to calm down. The inner demon shouldn't be left behind. Then the second one, as for the second option, you can only pray that an antidote can be developed. If I can't develop it, I will report it to the sect. If no one in the sect can develop it, then you can only look for Sima Yue to give you the antidote. As for whether they hold a grudge and give you the antidote, that will depend on your ability. Yuling left, leaving behind a gloomy Qingshi. Vice sect leader, that's Sima Yue, do we keep her alive for now? If Poison sect could not solve this problem and Sima Yue died, his Kai would never be able to be saved. That slut, wait till his Kai recovers, see how he will deal with her. Half a day after Yuling returned to Poison sect, she got someone to deliver a pill. Qing Kai ate the pill and felt much better. He was not as lifeless as before. However, there was only deep fear in his eyes. That Sima Yue is too scary, too scary. I don't want to look for her anymore. When he thought of that scene, his body could not help but tremble. Kai, did you see something? Father, corpses, so many corpses. I was locked in there and could not see anything else, only endless corpses. Those beauties had all turned into white bones, some even had maggots growing on them. There were also many underworld beasts eating those corpses. They surrounded me as if I was also a corpse. They wanted to eat me. Father. Those underworld beasts are so scary. Qing Kai cried out, make them go away. Go away. Kai, this is beast taming sect. You have already come out and are safe. No underworld beasts can hurt you. Look, this is your house. Qing Shi comforted him. Qing Kai opened his eyes and looked carefully. After confirming that it was his house, he quieted down. Let Mu Ji take a look at your body, okay? Qing Kai did not refuse. Mu Ji went to check on him and said, I'll prescribe some medicine for him. As long as he calms down, he'll be fine. Okay, go quickly. Mu Ji left, and not long after, someone brought the pill. Qing Kai fell asleep after taking it, but he still had nightmares from time to time. The beast-taming sect was in a mess, but Sima Yue was very leisurely. Taking advantage of the fact that no one came to provoke her, she took a good look around the Yin sect. She did not know whether it was good for the Yin sect or not, but since she was in a new place, she had to figure out the environment here so that she could deal with any situation in the future. She walked around the surroundings. When she came back, the corpses on the ground were gone. Even the blood on the ground had been cleaned up, leaving only the residual smell of blood in the air. An old man in shabby clothes was sweeping the ground with a broom. She wanted to go around him, but she was stopped by the old man. Little girl, you have a murderous aura, he said. Yes, I just killed someone, Sima Yue admitted. Did you kill these people? Yes. They wanted to catch me, so I killed them. Little girl, don't be so murderous. They just wanted to catch you. Why did you kill them? Some people can be forgiven if they offend you because they won't cause you any trouble in the future. But some people can't be forgiven. If you let them go, it's like letting a tiger go back to the mountain. It's better to get rid of them once and for all. But that's a dozen lives. A dozen people came to bully a little girl like me. This kind of person deserves to die. Sima Yue said, if it wasn't me today, but a weak person, the ending would have been different. What are you going to say then? You'll say that she's not as good as others and deserves to be caught and bullied. So, there's nothing wrong with me killing these people. Ning Tianya looked at Sima Yue. The murderous aura around her was actually very faint. She did not look like someone who had just killed a dozen people. This world follows the law of the jungle. What you said makes sense. But if your murderous aura is too strong, it will affect your state of mind. It won't be good if you have an inner demon in the future. Just like the sect master of the Yin sect, he won't be able to advance for a long time. I only do what I think is right and follow my heart. How can there be an inner demon? Even if there really was one, he would have to let me live until then. If I don't resist, I'll be dead before the inner demon comes. Chapter 2031. Regardless of whether the future was good or bad, there was a very important condition, and that was to live. Ning Tianya understood that her heart was firm. No matter what happened, she would live on to pursue her great Tao. What if you have an inner demon in the future? He asked her. Then think of a way to get rid of the inner demon. Look at my master, although he was trapped for so many years, didn't he get rid of the inner demon and successfully advance? Sima Yue was not worried. In this world, everything has a cause and effect. If it really reaches the point where it can't be solved, then it's the cause that I planted, and I have to bear the consequences. Even so, it's better than dying early, right? The rare sunlight shone down on her, making her look a little ethereal. Her words were a little messy and contradictory, but Ning Tianya understood what she meant. Among the 3,000 great Daos, you've chosen a path that's pleasing to your heart. This is very good, but once you doubt your own heart, then you may fall into eternal darkness, unable to be resolved, he said earnestly. Sima Yue looked at Ning Tianya, smiled, and said, Old Grandpa, have you ever heard of this saying, if you choose a path, you have to finish it even if you have to kneel down? Since I've chosen this path, then I naturally won't turn back. If you choose a path, you have to finish it even if you have to kneel down? Ning Tianya raised his eyebrows. This was the first time he heard of this. Old Grandpa, I don't know why you're telling me this, but thank you for reminding me to persevere. Sima Yue said, also, I don't know who you are in the sect, but next time you want to talk to me, don't make yourself like this. Had he been exposed? How did you know? You didn't choose the right place, and your broom is too new. There's so much blood here, if you were the one cleaning, your broom wouldn't be so spotless. Sima Yue explained, remember to change to an old broom in the future. Goodbye. After she finished speaking, she walked around him and left. Ning Tianya was left frowning as he sized up the broom in his hand. Sure enough, it was too new, it didn't look like a cleaner at all. However, this little girl was quite smart. There weren't many young people who could recognize their own path. Sima Yue returned to her courtyard. The news of her killing had already spread here. Along the way, the disciples looked at her strangely. Why are these people looking at me like that? Don't tell me that they feel embarrassed because I used poison. Or did I violate the sect's rules? It can't be, right? She muttered to herself. Fushi saw her and called out to her twice before she responded. They felt that you had just joined the sect not long ago, and your master was still in seclusion. Yet, you already know how to use sound attacks, so they were a little shocked. Fushi explained. How did you know? I heard them. Fushi said, why did you come back so late? It had been so long since the news had been sent back, but she had only just returned. That was too slow. Since I'm free today, I decided to walk around. Sima Yue said, is there any news from the beast-taming sect? Yes, I heard that they found people from the physician sect and poison sect. It was a mess before, but now it's quietened down. Maybe that fellow Chinkai has calmed down. Fushi said, Yue, they won't find trouble with you, right? I heard that fellow has some background in the Yin sect. You mean that vice sect leader? Sima Yue wasn't worried. If he wants his son to be impotent for the rest of his life, he can try. Fushi subconsciously clamped his legs together. How could she do such a thing and say it so casually? Sima Yue saw his reaction and said in disdain, you're just a little kid, why are you having such a big reaction? How am I young? I'm also a man, all right. Fushi protested, I'm already 250 years old. Then you're still a kid. Sima Yue said, wait until your body grows up, then you can fight for your rights. Fushi still wanted to argue with her, but she had already entered the house and ignored him. Soon, Lu Yan's men came to call her over. She went over and met him at the top floor of his little attic. Lu Yan stood in front of the railing, still dressed in white, his long hair casually draped behind him. When the wind blew, it danced playfully. This was the second time they met alone. Master. She bowed to his back. Lu Yan turned around and said, are you hurt anywhere? No. Sima Yue shook her head. Do you know why I called you over? Lu Yan asked her. Sima Yue secretly observed his expression. She was neither happy nor angry as she said, I don't know. I know you're smart. You know how to combine sound attacks with other methods. Lu Yan said. Seeing that Sima Yue didn't look pleased, the anger in his heart eased a little. Don't do such dangerous things in the future. When Sima Yue first heard his words, she didn't think that it was a compliment. She thought that he was angry at her for using such methods to kill, so she was prepared to be scolded. But his last words didn't seem to be referring to this. You purposely didn't let them send you, so that they would come looking for you, right? There are many experts in the Een sect. With your little tricks, you can only deal with these people. But what if you meet an expert? I know I'm wrong. I won't go out alone in the future. Sima Yue admitted her mistake. You should cultivate more in the sect in the future. I will settle the matters of the beast-taming sect for you. Lu Yen said. Thank you, Master. Sima Yue smiled at him. The beast-taming sect will be fine for the time being. What did you do? Before I left, I poisoned Qingkai. Qingshi loves his son so much. He won't do anything to me if he doesn't suppress the poison. Unless he doesn't want this son and has another child of his own. Lu Yen knew what poison she had used. Are you so sure that they won't be able to develop an antidote? Of course. I developed the poison myself. Some of the ingredients are only known to me. It will be difficult for them to come up with an antidote. Sima Yue said confidently. After the battle, you said that you are a beast tamer master. Now you are a poison master. Tell me, what else do you know? Let me know what kind of disciple I have. Lu Yen said. I am best at medicine and alchemy. Next, I am good at arrays, beast tamer and seeker spirit master. I am the worst at smithing because I spend the least amount of time. Sima Yue replied. Oh, I can even use sound attacks now. That's my weakest point. Medicine, alchemy, arrays, beast tamer, seeker spirit master, smithing. You know all these professions. What else do you not know? There are many things that I don't know. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come to the Een sect to learn. And I haven't reached the peak of what I know, so there is still a lot to learn. Chapter 2032. This round of array formations was especially difficult. Furthermore, the contents of the test were also what she did not expect. When she heard the contents of the test, she could only say that this master of hers thought too highly of her. Who came to the front of the rostrum and said, My round's test is also very simple. The place where you are at already has an array formation prepared. It's a trapping array. You have to come out from inside. But if you activate the array formation hidden inside the array formation when you crack the array formation, it will become a killing array. She understood this kind of array formation combination. As long as she found the pattern, it was not considered too difficult. But the moment the array formation activated, she became depressed. It's actually a replica array of the 10 great ancient array formations. Master, do you really think that I'm that impressive? She could not help but complain. The people outside could not hear her voice, but they could read her lips. Coupled with her expression, they all knew how depressed she was. Old Hu, you actually used an imitation array of an ancient array. Isn't this a little too much? Helan frowned, feeling unjust for Sima Yue. If she can't pass this array, what will she do if she encounters an ancient array in the future? Hu said, moreover, you all know about her situation. If she goes to that place in the future, how can she protect herself if she doesn't have some skills? If she can't pass, she will stay behind and continue learning. He said this, and the others also felt that what he said was reasonable. But she is also in a hurry to leave, sigh. Although she did not appear to be in a hurry and stayed behind to calm herself down, she was still anxious to save her mother. This was no longer a secret among the higher-ups of the hidden sections. Otherwise, they would not have agreed to let her finish the apprenticeship examinations in such a short period of time. Back then, they had held a private meeting with Sima Yue and told them about her situation, including her background, her experiences, her growth, the things that she had done in the human realm and the world of spirits and souls and so on. In the end, they concluded that she should be the person who bore the mandate of heaven that they had been waiting for. As the higher-ups of this world, they had the obligation to help her grow. That was why they had allowed her to study in various sects all these years. They also knew that she probably had a treasure that could slow down time, which was why she had been able to learn so many things in such a short period of time. Over 20 years in the Soul Tower was equivalent to over 200 years. Coupled with her talent and the foundation she already had, it was not difficult for her to succeed. Moreover, they had also predicted that chaos was coming, and that she had to leave. There were still many things in this world waiting for her to do. Their hearts were filled with pride at the thought that they could personally guide her growth. But now, she might not be able to pass the array formation examination. Sima Yue walked in the array formation. She felt that she had been walking in one direction, but to the people outside, she seemed to be walking around in a very small area. She felt that the imitation array of the ancient array formation was more troublesome, because it had some changes on the basis of the ancient array formation. It had the power of the ancient array formation, but there were more variations, and some were even stronger. Moreover, this array formation had been changed by Hu into a combination array. Once a killing array was triggered, it would be terrible. She would be trapped and killed, and she could feel that the power of the killing array would not be weaker than this trapping array. Thinking of this, she wanted to vomit blood. It was just an examination, but her master was trying to torture her to death. Whoosh, the sound of the wind rushed over. She dodged, and a spiritual force brushed past her ear, scraping the skin on her ear. Just a little more, and she would not be able to keep her ear. She actually triggered the killing array. Sima Yue wanted to vomit blood. She had just figured out the method to break the trapping array, and now it had triggered the killing array. Now, she not only had to deal with these attacks, but she also had to break the array. Most importantly, the attacks were so fierce, she almost did not have the time and experience to break the array. Seeing the attack of the killing array, the crowd was in an uproar. This attack was too fierce. With Sima Yue's strength, there was no way she could withstand it. Old Hu, don't you think you've gone overboard? The people on the rostrum were also worried. The attack seemed to be a little too fierce. Only Hu smiled, and his previous worries were swept away. Yue is injured, how can you still smile at this time? Helan said with a sullen face. You guys continue watching. Hu did not explain, but the smile on his face was much wider. Is there something fishy? They turned their attention to Sima Yue again, only to see her being injured by those attacks, and running around in the array. The people on the rostrum were distressed. When had their goddess ever been in such a sorry state? She was so seriously injured, and even forced to run around. Her image was gone. Pfft, unable to dodge, an illusory longsword stabbed into her shoulder, only 2 fingers away from her heart. If it went down a little more, old Hu. Ni Lo was anxious. If this goes on, she will die. You'd better close the array quickly. In this way, she could be considered to have failed the assessment. Don't be anxious. Hu's smile did not change. Just wait a little more. Can what? They did not see any signs of her breaking the array. Just wait and see, the situation is about to change. Hu said. He would not joke around with Sima Yue's life. Since he said so, everyone could only wait. They waited anxiously, and their hearts were in their throats. Fortunately, they did not wait for too long, or else their lives would be short. Sima Yue was injured again, on the other shoulder, in the same position. She was stabbed again. Now, there was a long sword on each shoulder, a few broken arrows on her legs, and wounds all over her body. However, when her shoulder was stabbed, she smiled. That smile was so confident, so bright, that it made people feel that no matter what difficulties there were, they could not stop her footsteps. She would keep moving forward, to a height that had never been reached before. Array, rise. As she shouted, an array lit up around her. This array was not big, but it was just enough to protect her, and it weakened the attack of the trapping array. She actually set up an array in the process of escaping. Everyone exclaimed. Previously, no one saw that her messy footsteps had actually drawn out an array pattern. Old Hu, you saw it long ago. Ni Lo said. Hu smiled without saying a word. Is this array formation able to resist your trapping array? The attack seems to be a lot smaller. Lu Yen asked. I think so too, it seems to be a lot smaller. Helan said. It can't be considered a trapping array to resist. Not only did she set up an array, but she also used the trapping array's array pattern to let some of the trapping array's power be used by her. This way, she can protect herself and weaken the attack. Once she recovers, this array formation won't pose any difficulty to her, who explained to everyone. Chapter 2033. Sima Yue rubbed her nose embarrassedly and said softly, "It's not something that grows on a human body. It's that." She paused at this point, as if she was really embarrassed. Lu Yen looked at her. If she didn't already know what she was thinking, she would really think that she was embarrassed. Qingshi hated Sima Yue. If it wasn't for her, how would his precious son become like this? Now that she was taking her time, he wanted to give her 2 tight slaps. What is the primer? Just tell us directly. Why are you taking your time? He said impatiently. It's actually human urine. Only by using this as a primer will the antidote take effect. Sima Yue said, so as long as you let him drink 2 bowls of this immediately after taking the antidote, I guarantee that he will be able to hold up the sky. Everyone present was stunned. The primer she was talking about was actually human urine? And she wanted to drink it directly? That was too ridiculous. How dare you? Qing shouted, how can human urine be the antidote? We've already humbled ourselves to beg you. If you don't know what's good for you. I'm speaking the truth. Sima Yue trembled as if she was frightened. If you don't believe me, you can ask Senior if this is the primer. I'm your peer so you don't have to call me Senior. Oh, Yuling said, it's not that this urine can't be used as a primer, it's just that it's too harmful. I'll say it first. I'm not targeting Qingkai. Sima Yue raised her right hand and assured, I kept that poison for self-defense. I didn't expect to use it on Qingkai. If he didn't provoke me, I wouldn't have given it to him. Her words seemed to make sense. After all, if Qingkai didn't provoke her, why would he get into such trouble? But when they thought about her primer, they felt a little disgusted. 5th Elder, she already said that this poison wasn't created to target your grandson. This antidote naturally has nothing to do with him. You can't put that cold air on a little girl's body, right? Helan, who had been silent all this time, finally spoke up. Sima Yue looked at the fairy-like beauty and smiled gratefully at her. So she wasn't on the same side as them. Take a look and see if this antidote prescription is correct. If it's right, I'll give it to him when I get back. Oh, Yuling took out a prescription and showed it to her. Sima Yue looked at the prescription she gave and nodded, that's it. Go back and use the medicine according to this prescription and add the medicinal primer. When they thought of that medicinal primer, they felt a little stifled. If it doesn't work, I'll come find you again. Oh, Yuling said. All right. If it doesn't work, you can come back and find me. Sima Yue smiled at her. Qing brought her people and left. She didn't even bother to exchange pleasantries. Helan was left alone. I heard from your master that you know how to refine pills? Helan asked. Mo Wei was startled. She actually knew how to concoct pills? A little. Sima Yue replied. That's not what your master said. Helan said. Ah. She looked at Lu Yen. This guy sold her out? I don't have a choice. She came and said that your poison indirectly killed her disciple's disciple. I can only accompany her, a genius. Lu Yen was also very helpless. But what could he do? He couldn't really hand Yue over and teach her a lesson, right? Little girl, do you want to come to my place? It's so boring to play the zither with him. Helan asked her. Go to the alchemy sect? Sima Yue didn't expect that she was the ancestor of the girl who died in the alchemy sect. She also didn't expect that she was here to poach her. But I've just entered the sect and haven't learned much. It's not suitable for me to be distracted, right? So you're saying that you're not willing? Helan's smile disappeared. She didn't show any anger. Mo Wei was a little happy. As long as she offended these elders, even if she didn't do anything, Sima Yue wouldn't have a good ending. It's not that I'm not willing. It's just that I still need to learn from my master. Sima Yue gave Lu Yan a look. Quickly speak up for her. Lu Yan had sold out her own disciple and was feeling embarrassed. Seeing her winking at her, she had no choice but to say, I still have something to say. The Formation sect and the Spirit-seeking sect are waiting for her to go there after she has finished learning from me. Even if you want to poach her, you have to queue up. They want her too. Why? Helan frowned. Of course it's because she's good in those areas too. Lu Yan said, so don't scare her. She's timid and can't take it. TSK, then why did you recommend her to me? Helan was really angry. Isn't that because you love talent? If I didn't say it, I would have wasted a lot of time stopping you. Lu Yan said bluntly. It seemed that he had a good relationship with Helan. Sima Yue came to this conclusion and subconsciously looked at Mo Wei. Sure enough, her expression was very ugly. Sect leader, there are still some things waiting for me to settle in the sect. I'll take my leave first. Mo Wei stood up and left without waiting for Lu Yan to say anything. Helan didn't have a good impression of Mo Wei. After Mo Wei left, she said coldly, I don't understand. Why are you so accommodating to this woman? If you like her, I can still accept it. But you clearly. I promised her father. Lu Yan said. TSK, I couldn't tell that you were such a sentimental person. Helan then said to Sima Yue, your master said that you're good at alchemy. If your alchemy skills are really that good, I won't hold it against you. Sima Yue rolled her eyes in her heart. What did those things have to do with her? She didn't want to move and wanted to leave, but Lu Yan stopped her. If you can catch her eye, you can look for her for alchemy in the future. Helan didn't refute and only said, that depends on whether she has that standard. Sima Yue guessed in her heart. For Helan to be able to become an elder in the main sect, there was no need to talk about her abilities. If she wanted to study alchemy in the future, it would be better if she followed her. So it turned out that Lu Yan wanted to find her a master. Do it here? She asked. Alchemists can refine pills in any kind of environment. Helan said. Sima Yue nodded and took out a table full of herbs. Then, with her palms facing up, flames emerged from her palms and condensed into a ball of fire in the air. She threw a few herbs into the fire and directly used the flames to refine them. When Helan saw the herbs she took out, she knew what kind of pill she was going to refine. At first, she was a little disappointed because this pill wasn't very difficult and wasn't considered to be a top-grade pill. When she saw Sima Yue directly using the fire as the cauldron, her gaze finally changed. When she handed the finished pill to her, a smile appeared on her face. Chapter 2034. Helan's smile was very faint, and her sullen face did not change at all. But Lu Yan knew that she was satisfied. Using fire to form a cauldron, and being able to refine pills of this grade so quickly. How is it, am I right? It was the first time he was so proud of a disciple. It's all right, Helan said. But her technique is still not very mature. If she doesn't continue to work hard, she won't be able to reach the level of a great master. That's why I need you to give me some pointers, Lu Yan said. Humph, a simple humph, but it showed that she agreed. Helan thought for a moment, then said, I'll get them to take her in later. That won't do. The one who spoke up was still Lu Yan. What? Helan glared at him, very unhappy with his nagging. She's my disciple. If you let a junior take her in, then wouldn't I be a generation younger than you? Lu Yan refused. Either you take her in, or you don't. Lu Yan, you bastard. Helan was so angry that she almost threw the teacup in her hand at him. Her celestial aura instantly became down to earth. Even Sima Yue's mouth twitched. She didn't realize that Master was so annoying in the past. Or was it that Master was more annoying in front of her? All of a sudden, did she catch something? She blinked and decided not to say anything. Lu Yan's expression did not change in the face of her anger. She had to insist on this. So, do you take her in? Lu Yan's attitude was very arrogant. You're forcing a disciple to me. He Lan protested. She's very talented. Those people under you can't teach her. Lu Yan said, let them come. Otherwise, she'll surpass them. When that time comes, you'll still have to come personally. Why do you have to walk this path now? You're too confident in her. He Lan did not believe it. Oh. If you don't believe me, you can ask her. How old is she, what level is she, and what she knows? Lu Yan said, I never exaggerate. When I say that they can't teach her, they can't teach her. Rather than being misled by them, why don't she learn sound attacks from me? Didn't you not let her join the alchemy faction? What happened to concentrating on learning sound attacks? Aren't you an elder of the main sect? It's okay to go and learn from time to time. If you have time, you can come here and teach her. Sima Yue lowered her head and looked at her dress. She treated herself like an invisible person. She raised her head slightly and glanced at Jing Fu. The latter was also regretting not following them. The two of them looked at each other, their eyes filled with helplessness. In the end, He Lan accepted Sima Yue as her disciple, but she needed to choose a date to formally become Sima Yue's disciple, so she needed to go back and prepare. After He Lan left, Jing Fu left as well. Sima Yue and Lu Yan were left alone. Master, are you on good terms with Sixth Elder? Sima Yue asked. We've known each other for a long time. Oh, her voice was very long, so how could Lu Yan not understand her meaning? She said uncomfortably, her alchemy skills are very good, I know. I'll learn from her. In the future, if you need me to put in a good word for you, feel free to let me know. You just need to teach me your song of yearning. Sima Yue, I think you've become more daring, haven't you? Lu Yan's face stiffened, trying to hide the guilt in her eyes. Master, I'm timid. I can't be scared. Sima Yue repeated what he said before. Seeing that Lu Yan was about to fly into a rage, she said, Master, if you don't have any other orders, I'll take my leave first. Lu Yan still wanted to say something, but when he saw her curious and expectant gaze, he couldn't bring himself to say those words. No matter what he said, she would interpret it as something else, right? So, it was better not to say anything. You can leave. If anything happens at the beast taming sect, I'll get someone to inform you. Yes, Master. I'll take my leave. After Sima Yue left, she released a few scarlet bees. The scarlet bees circled around her twice, then flew towards the beast taming sect. She could imagine Qingsai's face when he drank the medicine. That scene was too beautiful, she didn't dare to imagine it. The beast taming sect has formed a grudge. Oh, even if this didn't happen, it would still be the same. At least I'm feeling good now. She happily returned to her own courtyard. In the beast taming sect, Qing Cheng and Qing Shi's faces were so dark that water could drip out. The people beside them didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Oh, Yuling took out 2 pills and said, This is the antidote that I made according to the recipe. She said that the recipe is correct, so let's give it to Qing Kai to try. You really want to try? Qing Shi couldn't bear to let her child suffer. Oh, Yuling was unhappy. She placed the antidote on the table and said, If there were other methods, would we still have to make this trip today? Go and bring him over, then prepare 2 bowls. Qing Qing didn't finish her sentence, but everyone knew. Thus, someone immediately went to prepare the urine, and someone went to call Qing Kai. At this moment, Qing Kai was still in his own courtyard. Facing 4 half-naked women who were flirting with him, he didn't have the slightest bit of his past majesty. He irritably threw everything on the table at them. Those women were shocked and all knelt on the ground. Scram, scram, useless things. He roared at them. These women were all dancers that he used to like. Now, no matter what they did, his little brother didn't have any reaction. He wanted to find Sima Yuyue to settle the score, but every time he had this thought, his mind would recall that terrifying scene and he would immediately give up. But he really missed the days of the past. The 4 dancers quickly retreated, afraid that he would change his mind and kill them if they were too slow. Young Master, Vice Sect Leader and 5th Elder have returned. They brought the antidote back and invited you over. The servant at the door said. Got it? Chingsai's eyes lit up. His fat body immediately stood up from the recliner and hurriedly walked towards the hall. Before he entered, he shouted loudly, Father, Grandfather, you really got the antidote? Qing Cheng looked at his grandson and his eyes were filled with love. Thinking about what was about to happen, his hatred for Sima Yuyue increased. Kai, this is the antidote and this is the catalyst. After eating the pill and drinking this, your poison will be cured. Qing Cheng said. Qing Kai walked to his seat and sat down. Seeing the 2 pills and 2 bowls of light yellow liquid on the table, he frowned and asked, Didn't I eat this pill before? Why is it still this? Also, is the liquid in this bowl urine? This is your catalyst. Close your eyes and drink it. Qing Cheng said. Father, Grandfather, you really want me to drink this? No, I won't drink it. I won't drink it even if I die. Chapter 2035. Qing Kai was not willing to drink it. No matter how Qing Shi tried to persuade him, he would not drink it. He kept saying that there were other ways to cure the poison and that Sima Yuyue did it on purpose. Even if he drank it, it would not have any effect. If it doesn't work, we will go find her. Qing Cheng shouted. If you don't drink it now, no one will care about you in the future. Qing Cheng shouted. Qing Kai calmed down under his grandfather's glare. The only person he was afraid of was his grandfather. Once he got angry, even his heart would tremble. Moreover, he was afraid that they would not care about him. So, with great reluctance, he had to agree. The pill was still the same pill, but this time, there was a disgusting medicinal ingredient. He swallowed the pill and forced himself to drink a bowl of urine. After drinking it, he almost vomited. Grandfather, I feel that it is the same as the previous 2 times. There is no difference at all. He held back his disgust and shouted. There is one more bowl. Oh, Yuling reminded him. Drink the other bowl too. Qing Cheng said. Qing Kai held back his disgust and drank the other bowl as well. He wanted to vomit after drinking it. You better not vomit. If it affects the effect of the medicine, you will be the one at a disadvantage. You will have to eat it again. Oh, Yuling's words made Qing Kai swallow the vomit back down his throat. He was already disgusted. If he drank it again, he would collapse. They waited for a while. When Qing Cheng lost her patience and was about to go find Sima Yuyue to settle the score, Qing Kai finally reacted. After resting for half a year, his second son was finally able to support the heavens again. Grandfather, Father, it seems like it really worked. That feeling is back. Qing Kai cried out. At this moment, he felt his entire body heating up. His lower body was extremely swollen and painful. He wanted to immediately find someone to relieve it. Yuling, check if Kai's poison is really cured. Qing Shi said. He still could not believe it. How could the poison be cured after adding 2 bowls of urine? Oh, Yuling also felt that it was strange. She checked Qing Kai and said with certainty, it is indeed cured. What is the principle behind this? There are only 2 more bowls, how could it be cured? I think it should be the hidden effect of the antidote. Oh, Yuling said. I don't care what the reason is. As long as it is effective. Qing Kai finally smiled. Grandfather, Father, I feel uncomfortable. I want to release it. No. Oh, Yuling stopped him. Why? I feel so uncomfortable. Before we left, Sima Yuyue said that you will wake up for 3 days. In these 3 days, you can't do those things. Otherwise, all your efforts will be wasted. Oh Yuling, if you don't believe me, you can give it a try. Oh Yuling said. Do you dare? Would they dare to use his entire life as a test? The most important thing was, according to Sima Yu's temperament, if she said this, there was an 80 to 90% chance of it being true. In short, he couldn't release it. He could only hold it in. Tie the young master up. Qing Cheng ordered. If you can't control yourself, get out of the Qing family. Qing Kai was depressed. He had never held it in so much in his life. Every minute and every second was torture. Sima Yue was simply a demon. She tortured him until he lost all his temper. He still wanted to take revenge in the past. But after going through all this, he couldn't do anything to her. After 3 days, he finally regained his freedom. However, his second son had already left him. He was tortured for 3 days. He was exhausted. He didn't even look at the beauties his father sent over and fell asleep. The beast-taming sect was in a mess. They looked for people to take a look. For some reason, the news of Qing Kai drinking urine to detoxify the antidote spread. Everyone who saw Qing Kai would hide far away. It was as if he smelled of urine. He was so angry that he clenched his teeth. For a long time, he hid in his room and didn't come out. Sima Yue also knew about the beast-taming sect's actions. She smiled evilly. Fushi said to Hai Xing and Hai Shi, "Did you see that? In the future, you don't have to kill anyone who offends you. Find the right way to punish them. That's the best." Although he said that, he couldn't help but complain in his heart. This woman was too evil. Whether it was impotence or the poison, it was enough to show how evil her heart was. Sima Yue thought that the rest of her life would pass peacefully. Who knew that before the matter of her making Qing Kai drink urine was over, the news of Elan accepting her as a disciple spread. The entire Yin sect was in an uproar again. Who was Elan? She was the main elder of the sect. Not only were her disciples talented, they had to be very powerful to be able to enter her eyes. Now that she was accepting Sima Yue, didn't that mean that Sima Yue's alchemy skills were higher than those of the alchemy sect? This Sima Yue is simply an evildoer. Many people cried out, "When will I have the chance to properly witness her abilities? Is she really human? How can there be such a demon? I heard that she's very beautiful. I don't know who can control such a woman." You don't have to worry about that. She already has someone in her heart. Moreover, that person joined the Yin sect for her and became the disciple of the Array sect's leader. Are you serious? Is this news reliable? Of course it's reliable. This news came from the Array sect and the Sound sect. What a pity. I wanted to give it a try. Go ahead. Poach her, I believe in you. Hey, there's no corner that can't be poached. There's only a shovel that isn't hard enough. Who knows, maybe I'll succeed. Then you'll have to be alive first. Ha ha ha, now, everyone in the Yin sect was talking about Sima Yue. They even started betting on whether she knew their sect's skills. Even the beast-taming sect was secretly opened. Although she said that she could tame beasts, it was still open without seeing it with their own eyes. When Sima Yue heard Fushi's words, the corners of her mouth twitched. These people really have nothing better to do. Who knew that you would do all these things? Fushi said. I also heard that the people from the alchemy sect are not convinced and want to cause trouble for you before you take me as your disciple. I don't have that much time to play with them. Sima Yue said. The beast-taming sect knew that there was no way to mediate, so she didn't mind making things this way. However, the alchemy sect was still considered to be from the same sect. It would be a waste of time to do this. Little Grand Ancestor, Oh Yuling from the poison sect is here to look for you. A junior at the door said. Sima Yue raised her brows. What was this woman here for? Chapter 2036. When Oh Yuling saw Sima Yue, she immediately revealed her intentions. I'm here to ask you for advice on poison. Although Sima Yuyu's impression of Yuling wasn't bad, and she even knew that she had said a few fair words for her, she still didn't really want to bother with this woman. Who asked her to be on Qingshi's side? My poison skills are just some small tricks. I'm just playing around. How can I discuss it with you? She rejected. So you admit that you know poison? Yuling said. Huh? Sima Yuyue was surprised by her reaction. She seemed to care more about this answer. Poison sect opened a bet to guess if you're a poison master and if the poison was made by your son. I'm here to get an answer. Yuling said. Sima Yuyue's heart was in a mess, but she could not show it on her face. If she could, she wanted to chase her away. You little brat, how can you keep it to yourself when you're angry? Yuling burst the bubble in her heart, making Sima Yuyue feel embarrassed. Shouldn't she see through it and not expose it? Oh right, there's another question. Yuling continued, is Qingshi's 3 days of abstinence real? I checked his body after the detoxification and there's nothing wrong with him. You want to hear the real answer? Yeah, I won't tell anyone. No, it's fine as long as he releases it. But if he doesn't release it, it'll last for 3 days. Yuling, because of the matter with the primer, they were certain that she was trying to prank them, so they did not know if they should believe her. But they did not dare to take the risk, so they could only choose to believe her. They did not expect her to just say it casually. Aren't you afraid that I'll go back on my words and tell others about this? She asked. What's wrong with that? Everyone knows that I don't get along with Qingkai, so it's normal for me to throw a tantrum. If you tell others, they'll just think that I'm a bad person. Qingkai has already suffered. Sima Yuyue did not care at all. She would tell her, but she did not care if she would tell others. You've been quite popular recently. Have you thought of joining Poison Sect? Yuling asked. Join Poison Sect? That's right. I heard that you're going to join Pill's Sect, Array Sect, Spirit Sect. It's not a big deal. Sima Yuyu directly rejected. If Qingshi knew that you wanted me to join the Poison Sect, what would she think? My relationship with him is between the two of us. The matter between you and Poison Sect is between us. It's different. Yuling said, besides, it's not like we have a good personal relationship. It's just that there are some things that can't be pushed away. Actually, I didn't want to join the Array Formation Sect or the Spirit Seeking Sect. It was just casually spread by those people outside. Sima Yuyu said, recently, I only learned how to use sound attacks in the Sound Sect. The reason why I became 6th Elder's disciple was killed by Qingkai. Seeing how insistent she was, Yuling knew that she would not join the Poison Sect for now, so she did not say anything more. She only said, if you change your mind in the future, you can come and look for us directly. After Yuling left, Fushi asked Sima Yuyue, why didn't you agree with her? Don't you want to improve your poison skills too? The tallest tree in the forest will be destroyed by the wind. I'm already so high profile. If I join Poison Sect, it'll be a blessing. Sima Yuyue said. Also, don't bite off more than you can chew. There's no rush to learn. People like us who cultivate have more time. Let's talk about this again after the commotion dies down. That's true. A few days later, Lu Yen brought her to the main sect and she became He Lan's disciple. When she saw the old man smiling at her in the main hall, she knew that the person who stopped her was the sect master of the Yin sect. The process of becoming a disciple was very simple. Sima Yuyu served tea and changed the way she addressed her as master. He Lan told her about the rules of the sect and gave her a gift for becoming a disciple. That was it. In the following days, she went out less. Other than learning sound attacks, she went to He Lan to learn about formations. When she had time, she taught Hai Xing and Hai Shi. 20 years passed in a blink of an eye. This was the most peaceful time Sima Yuyue had ever lived. She had never had such a long time to learn and improve herself. She slowed down her pace and felt that she had learned more. Time allowed her to let go of herself. The relaxation of her soul allowed her to improve her state. The unstable state that was left behind by her rapid growth was solved. Boom, in a barren mountain far away from the insect, Sima Yuyue was struck by lightning. She was charred on the outside and tender on the inside. She lay on the ground and did not want to move. The cloud spirit said that it was a big tribulation and it had to be struck. Sima Yuyue endured it from the beginning to the end. If it was not for little Z, she would have died here. Many people were watching outside the lightning tribulation. Some came from the insect after hearing the commotion. Some came with her. Seeing the lightning tribulation, everyone was shocked. Many people's legs turned to jelly. Some of the people who wanted to do something to her also left. The little princess of the ghost realm. Her strength was not just for show. Wu Lingyu went to carry her. Although Sima Yuyue was not seriously injured, she was in so much pain that she did not want to talk. She leaned into his arms. Yuyue, how are you? Fushi ran over. At this time, his body had grown into an adult. He looked like a young man in his 20s. He looked at the weak Sima Yuyue. He still had lingering fears. Sure enough, compared to her, the electric shocks she gave him in the past were child's play. Master. Hai Shi and Hai Xing had also grown up. Over the years, their strength had increased rapidly. With the resources that Sima Yuyue had given them, they were several levels higher than their peers. I'm fine. It's just a little painful. Sima Yuyue said. It's good that you only feel a little pain after being hit by such a big lightning bolt. Konoha Chi said faintly. Over the years, because they discussed a raise from time to time, they became closer to Sima Yuyue. Seeing her going through the tribulation shocked them. They did not expect that there would be someone who could withstand the lightning. Sima Yuyue saw so many people. She pulled Wu Lingyu's clothes. Wu Lingyu understood and disappeared from the crowd with her. When they appeared again, they were already in her courtyard. I've finally broken through to Underworld Paragon. We should leave and find grandfather to fulfill our promise. She lay on the bed and said happily. You've been in seclusion for the past 2 years. That's why you don't know the situation outside. There are rumors that the Ghost King is no longer here. Wu Lingyu said. What happened? It should be because the Ghost King has not appeared for so many years. That's why there are these rumors. Or, someone spread these rumors. Chapter 2037. Sima Yuyue's eyes turned cold. Anaheim has never been well behaved. Grandfather has been in seclusion for so many years, of course she wants to take advantage of him. Hasn't she always done that? She said sarcastically, she probably thinks that she's more suitable to be the Ghost King than the Ghost Queen. She doesn't even know if she has the ability to do so. Aren't you worried about your grandfather? There's no need to worry. Sima Yuyue said, grandfather actually left a soul imprint on me. He's fine in my consciousness now, so there's nothing wrong with him. I see. Wu Lingyu touched her nose. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Hee, I've made you worry. I didn't think about it, so I ignored it. Sima Yuyue wrinkled her nose. Wu Lingyu really suspected that something had happened to the Ghost King. He was so far away and had not appeared for so long, so it was believable. Then there's no rush to go back. Wu Lingyu wanted to rush back once she recovered. Now they still had to go back, but they could relax a little. I've already passed the master's examination. You can take the examination after you recover. Wu Lingyu said. Master's examination? Everyone who leaves the Een sect will have a master's examination based on what they've learned. Because your reputation has been very high all these years, everyone requested that your examination be made public. Wu Lingyu said. The masters agreed? Sima Yuyue saw the smile on Wu Lingyu's face and pursed her lips. Master and the rest are not thinking about me at all. I heard that you're going to take the master's examination. Many people have come back recently. Wu Lingyu continued. Is there a need for that? So you should be prepared. When you take the master's examination, there will be a lot of people watching. Like today? Sigh. It's been more than 20 years. Why do they still like to watch me? I've been a star in the zoo all these years. However, since Master and the rest had agreed, there was no use in protesting. The people behind the door had been chasing after her for more than 20 years. This time, she would satisfy them. Anyway, she was going to leave anyway. Whatever they did after that had nothing to do with her. Someone recorded the scene of Sima Yuyue undergoing the lightning tribulation. Just looking at the scene made their hearts tremble. Seeing that Sima Yuyue did not dodge and instead went forward, everyone was impressed by her courage and strength. As expected of the Secret Order's legend. No one will be able to surpass her in the future. Sigh, some people exist just to attack others. Isn't that so? Compared to her, I feel like we've been, sigh, while Sima Yuyue was recuperating from her injuries, the image of her heavenly tribulation had spread throughout the Yin sect. At the same time, everyone was looking forward to her graduation examination. In the days that followed, Konoha Nagasaki and others came to see her one after another, but she drove them all out, and no one came. She wasn't a gorilla or a monkey. What was so strange about all of them coming over to see? Lu Yen was in his own courtyard. He heard people coming and going from the small mountain beside him. It was much noisier than before, but he didn't dislike it. Sima Yuyue was lying in his music room, eating spiritual fruits and listening to him play the zither. Master, you play so well. Sima Yuyue supported her chin with one hand. Unfortunately, I can't listen to it for long. Have you decided? Lu Yen asked her. Yes. Sima Yuyue nodded. I've said before that the day I break through to Underworld Elder is the day I'll leave. It's already rare to be able to stay here for so long. It's indeed a little unexpected. I thought you'd break through earlier. Lu Yen knew about her body's condition, so he was a little surprised that she would choose to take such a long time. That would go against my original intention of coming here. Sima Yuyue smiled. It's just a pity that I won't be able to attend your wedding banquet before I leave. Although her two masters had expressed their love for each other all these years, they still hadn't decided to be together. Lu Yan's expression was a little unnatural. He didn't continue the topic, but said, your graduation examination is arranged for half a month later. Will your injury be fine by then? No problem. Sima Yuyue knew that her master was thin-skinned, so she didn't continue to tease him. As for the public examination, the sect also wants a legendary figure to stimulate those arrogant disciples. Lu Yen took the initiative to explain. I know. Sima Yuyue said, but, before the examination, let me hide here. Lu Yen smiled and let her be. While she was recuperating here, a few people went to the small mountain and met Hai Xing and Hai Shi, who helped her block people in the name of meeting her. After they left the small mountain, they went directly to Mo Wei's courtyard. How was it? I didn't lie to you, right? Mo Wei said. Vice sect leader Mo has always been honest, but we have to make sure that the person is real. One of the men said in a low voice, now that we've seen her, we can be sure. I've already told you the person. As for whether you can bring her out or not, it's none of my business. Mo Wei said, don't forget what you promised me. How could we forget? As long as she leaves the Yin sect, she will be hunted down immediately. Now that the Ghost King is no longer here, we don't have to care so much. The other party said. That's good. Mo Wei didn't mention that Sima Yuyue was from the 9th Underworld clan. As long as these people killed Sima Yuyue, she didn't care about anything else. When do you think we should make our move? There have been too many people coming to the small mountain recently. If we make a move now, we'll be discovered easily. Half a month later, it will be the day of her graduation examination. By then, she won't have time to care about the people around her. That'll be the time for you to make your move. Mo Wei said, remember, you can only lure her out of the town. If you make a move inside, you'll be attacked by the insect. It doesn't matter if you die, but it'll be troublesome if you implicate her. We understand. We have a way to lure them out. I hope you really do. Alright, you can leave the insect first. After those people left, Lu Su stepped forward and said, Master, do we really have to do this? Mo Wei's body emitted an eerie chill. If we don't make a move, she'll leave this place. These people know about the Hai family and are interested in those two people. It's most suitable for them to make a move. But she wanted to say that Sima Yuyue was so powerful and protective. If she knew that they were obstructing her, she didn't know what would happen. However, Mo Wei's decision would not change. Her heart was filled with apprehension. Especially on the day of her graduation examination, when she received the news, a sense of panic rose in her heart. Chapter 2038. Among the mountains, the North Square was the largest open space, and there were many stands, which were rarely opened. This time, it was opened because of her, which was unprecedented. Starfish and Hai Shi sent Sima Yuyue to the North Square, and then went to the stands. The assessment hadn't started yet, so Sima Yuyue was waiting alone below, while Starfish, Hai Shi, and Fushi were excited on the stands. At this time, a strange man came to Starfish and Hai Shi, and said, Starfish, someone asked me to give this to you. Starfish and Hai Shi saw the family jade in his hand, and held their breath. Then, they took the jade and asked, Where is this person? Waiting for you in the town outside. She said she couldn't stay here for long, and asked you to meet her, the man said. She said she didn't want anyone to know. Hai Shi, who is that person? I saw her sneaking around. Is she a bad person? Sneaking around? Starfish and Hai Shi looked at each other and said, No, it should be our clansman who found her. We're going to meet her now. Thank you for bringing us the news. So it's your clansman. Then I've brought you the news. I'll leave now. The man was about to leave. Wait. Starfish stopped him. I didn't see you in the gate. Did you come from the town? The man was startled, and said, Yes. In that case, wait for us, and we'll go out with you. Starfish said, We'll need you to point out that person for us. Okay. Then wait for us at the gate. We'll go after saying hello. Okay. The man left and waited for them at the gate. Starfish talked to a man for a while, but he didn't know what they were talking about. According to their temperament, they won't tell anyone about this, right? He guessed. After all, the Hai family was a secret, and they wouldn't be stupid enough to tell anyone. Starfish quickly told Fushi everything, and then said, This jade belongs to my aunt. When the family was destroyed, her whereabouts were unknown. Now that we have a clue, we have to go and have a look. Do you know that this might be a trap? Fushi said. I know, but this is the only clue we have right now. The Starfish said, Although it's most likely a trap, we can't ignore it. Alright then, go ahead. Fushi nodded. When he saw the man looking over, he said, Go ahead. Come back early. I'll let Yuyue know. Thank you very much. Starfish knew that he was talking to that person, so he nodded gratefully and went to that person with Hesi. When the man saw Fushi pressing his lips together and understanding what he was saying, he heaved a sigh of relief. Since he said so, it meant that he would be waiting for Sima Yuyue to finish her exam. As long as these people didn't come, by the time they found out that these two people were missing, it would be after her assessment. At that time, they wouldn't be able to track down their whereabouts. He walked out with the Starfish and Hesi. After leaving the bustling North Square, the surroundings became much quieter. Along the way, Sima Yuyue asked him some questions about the town. He couldn't answer them, so he said that he had just entered the sect recently, so he was sent to the town to guard. Seeing his behavior, the siblings were even more sure that this was a trap. When they were about to reach the town, the man said, I suddenly remembered that he said that if you didn't arrive in half a day, he would go to Dongshan Mountain to wait for you. He asked you to go to Dongshan Mountain to find him. I heard that Dongshan Mountain is a little far from here. Hesse said. That's why I said that person was sneaky. In that case, do you still want to go? The starfish and Hesse hesitated and said, yes, but we haven't been to Dongshan Mountain. Can you take us there? Well, we don't know what the person who brought the jade looks like. Even if we see her, we won't know it's her, the starfish said. All right then. Who asked me to take on this matter? But I have to go back and talk to the shopkeeper. Okay, then you go. We'll wait for you here, the starfish said with a smile. The man left, thinking that these two people had really grown up in a good environment. Their minds were too simple. He went to the town and went back to find them. My shopkeeper said that he wanted me to take you there and then go back to work, so let's go and come back early. Okay. They rushed to Dongshan Mountain and soon arrived there. This is it. I don't know where that person is hiding. Shall we look for her separately? I think we'd better go together. If we separate, we won't recognize her even if we see her, the starfish said. We'll help you talk to your shopkeeper later. He won't blame you. That's good. I can slack off for half a day. Let's start looking here. He took the two of them around the mountain and then walked towards the agreed place. Before they got there, they found that something was wrong. The air seemed to be filled with a strong smell of blood. When they got there, they found that a group of underworld beasts had surrounded a group of wounded people, and those people were their own people. We've been discovered. This was his first thought. The next second, he reflexively wanted to escape, but found that the way back had been blocked by a group of underworld beasts. You guys are so slow. Fushi came over on a nether lion, crossed his arms in front of his chest, and complained, when we go back, I don't know if Yue has finished the exam. We wanted to see if he had any other purpose, the Haishi said. Who knew that he was just leading us around? Okay, catch these people. Let's hurry back. Fushi took out a few ropes and shook them gently. These ropes tied everyone up. The Haishi went up and fed poison to everyone's mouths. They couldn't commit suicide now even if they wanted to. Fushi ordered the underworld beasts, you guys go back. You've worked hard today. All the underworld beasts bowed respectfully to him, and then they all dispersed. You already knew? The man who delivered the message glared at the starfish. There was no subservience in his eyes, and his face was full of anger. That's right. We suspected you as soon as you appeared, the starfish said. But in order to catch you, we had to let you lead the way. When you went back to the town to inform the people hiding in East Mountain, we also sent the news to Fushi. When you go back, you guys can have a good talk about why Little Ant's jade pendant is with you. Let's go, Fushi urged. He still had to go back and watch Sima Yoyue's exam. He didn't know how much he would miss. Sima Yoyue was in the square. She looked at the place where the starfish and the others were and found that the three of them were gone. She frowned slightly. Chapter 2039. However, she didn't have the time to look for them because the elders of the main sect had all arrived. There were also the sect masters and vice-sect masters of the various sections. This lineup was comparable to when something big happened in the sect in the past. Their appearance forced her to stop her actions of contacting them. She raised her head and saw Wu Lingyu at the position of the array door. Wu Lingyu saw her looking at the 3 empty seats of the sound sect and understood what she meant. He nodded at her. Ning Tianya brought his people to the rostrum and sat down. Sima Yoyue came in front of them. Yoyue, are you sure you want to take all the examinations today? Ning Tianya asked her. Yes. Sima Yoyue replied. All right, your master will give you the examination questions next. You must pass all of them before you can leave the secret sect. Ning Tianya said. Hearing that Sima Yoyue wanted to leave the secret sect, the people of the secret sect weren't surprised. Anyone who wanted to take the examinations would have to leave the secret sect. However, when Ning Tianya mentioned it, they felt a little disappointed. In the future, the secret sect would have a lot less fun. Who will go first? Ning Tianya looked at the sect masters and asked. I'll go first. It just so happens that the sect has taken in a patient these 2 days. Her symptoms are a little strange and they haven't found the cause yet. The sect master of the medicine sect spoke, causing the entire venue to quiet down. The sect master of the medicine sect said he wanted to test her. They didn't know that she had medical skills. Old Manly, isn't it unfair for you to take the examination like this? Helan protested, you don't even have a solution and you let her do it. What if she can't solve it? How does that count? Naturally, we've considered this situation. The sect master of the medicine sect stroked his beard that reached his chest. If she gives up, we still have a backup plan. As long as she can pass that, it counts. Master, then let me try. Sima Yuyue said. Old Manly clapped his hands and someone immediately brought a patient up. This is the patient who came in 2 days ago. His vitality has been weakening but he hasn't been injured. There are also no other factors. Try and see if you can find the reason. Sima Yuyue came to the patient. She was already very weak. Her eyes were lifeless and her facial features were sunken. Her face was sallow and her body was haggard. She looked like she was malnourished. Let me take your pulse first. She asked the medicine boy beside her to put his hand on the armrest of the chair and take his pulse. Sect leader Li came to her side while she was taking her pulse. He wanted to see if she could find the reason. His pulse is weak, and his spiritual essence is scarce. The other symptoms are caused by the decrease in spiritual essence. They are not the cause of his illness. No matter how I look at it, it's just a normal symptom. Sima Yuyue said, but under normal circumstances, we should be able to find the reason for the loss of spiritual essence. Indeed. Sect Master Li said, that's why it's strange. Master, have you checked if there are any life-sucking parasites in his body? Sima Yuyue asked. I've already checked. There's nothing. Sect leader Li said. This parasite was the first thing they thought of when the person's spiritual essence was being drained. But after checking a few times, they found nothing out of the ordinary. There's no injury, no parasites. His spiritual essence is disappearing for no reason. Sima Yuyue touched her chin. Her mind was racing as she tried to think of the reason for this. Just as sect leader Li was about to ask her if she wanted to give up and choose the backup exam, she went behind the patient and took out a silver needle. She then pierced it into his neck. Ah, the patient who had not spoken a word for so many days suddenly screamed. It was as if he was going through some kind of pain. What's going on? Shouldn't there be no reaction? The people from the physician's sect saw Sima Yuyue's actions and knew what she had done. Sect leader Li parted the patient's hair and saw that his neck was red and swollen around the silver needle. He immediately understood. I see. I didn't think of this. Sect leader, what is this? When some people cultivate, they will form their own lines in their bodies. Under normal circumstances, this will not have any effect on the human body. However, once there is a cultivation backlash during the cultivation process, the lines will devour the human body's vitality. Sect leader Li explained, the probability of this happening is very low, so very few people know about it. Even I didn't think of it. Now that you mention it, it's very rare in the medical records. I didn't think that Yuyue would know about this. It's really admirable. The people from the physician's sect agreed. She knows so much at such a young age. It really makes me feel ashamed. Then how do we solve this? Someone asked, does she have to cure him to pass the exam? No one can cure him yet. If she finds the cause, she will pass. Because this is too rare, she will pass. Sima Yuyue looked at the lifeless person on the chair. She heard the people from the physician's sect tell his family that there was no medicine to save him. Seeing the grief in her family's eyes, she said softly, why don't you let me try and see if I can? Her voice was very soft. It was almost inaudible amidst the clamor of praises and discussions. However, her family still heard it. Master. Master. Can you save him? I beg you to save him. She ran to Sima Yuyue and knelt down in front of her, grabbing her clothes. Hearing her shout, the others all looked over in surprise. Master, you just said that you can save him. The girl raised her head and shouted. Sima Yuyue pulled her up and said, get up first. She didn't have the habit of making people kneel down in front of her, especially in front of so many people. Yuyue, do you have a way to cure him? Sect leader Li asked. I don't have absolute confidence. But since he is already waiting for death, why not try? Sima Yuyue said. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Master. The girl kneeling on the floor kept kowtowing. Don't be in a hurry to thank me. I might not be able to save him. Sima Yuyue didn't want her to have too much hope. I know. Sect leader Li said that there is no other way. I am already very grateful that you are willing to try. The girl calmed down and didn't push Yuyue too hard. Since you want to try, then try. Who knows, you might be able to save his life. Sect leader Li said. Then, he got people to build a temporary treatment room and surrounded it. He didn't want anyone to see the treatment process. Old Li, do you trust her that much? You know this child. She never speaks carelessly. Since she took the initiative to mention it, at least she has some confidence. Even if she fails in the end, it doesn't matter. Chapter 2040. The treatment process needed to be kept secret, so only sect leader Li went in with her. The people outside didn't know what they were doing inside, but they could vaguely see the shadows inside and hear sect leader Li's cheers from time to time. I didn't expect her to have such amazing medical skills. She has only been in the sect for more than 20 years, how could she learn so many things to be so powerful? She already knew these when she entered the sect, and now she is just improving herself. Oh, really amazing. Her existence is a blow to people's confidence. Now even if she knows everything in the sect, I wouldn't be surprised. Me too. Because they couldn't see Sima Yoyue's treatment process, everyone felt that it was a long process. After a few hours, the temporary screen was opened from the inside. Your silver needle technique is really amazing. Sect leader Li praised when he came out, and the relatives waiting outside quickly greeted them, looking at the two expectantly. Huh, your luck is really good to meet her. She actually used this method to straighten out the lines in his body. He won't lose his vitality later, so his life is saved. Sect leader Li said with a smile. Thank you sect leader Li, thank you master. The woman thanked the two excitedly. Don't thank me, I didn't find the cause of the disease, and I didn't save him. Sect leader Li was not greedy, when you go back, you have to take care of his body. This time he suffered a great loss, and it will take some time for him to recover. Also, don't advance rashly in the future, and cultivate slowly. Yes, yes. I will definitely talk to him, and won't do this kind of thing again. Well, he can leave after resting here for 2 days, you can go down with them. The people of the sect removed the people on the screen, and the square was empty again. Sect leader Li proudly announced, Doctor passed the examination. Thank you master. Good. Ning Tianya looked at him and said, who's next? I'll do it. The sect leader of the spirit-seeking sect came out and said, our examination is very simple, choose 50 ores from 100 ores, and there can't be any white stones. Moreover, the value of the selected ores and the rest of the ores can't be less than 5. God, this is simple. This is equivalent to a 95% hit rate. The greater the base, the higher the risk. How is this simple? When did the Sunling sect's examination become so difficult? It probably varies from person to person. But this is too difficult. Others were talking about it, and the people of the spirit-seeking sect were also lamenting the unprecedented difficulty of this assessment. But no matter how much they protested, the test had already been set, and no one could change it. The people of the spirit-seeking sect moved 100 oars to the square and arranged them neatly in 10 rows. Oh right, I forgot to mention the time. Within 4 hours. PFFF, what he said at the end made people spit out blood. Choosing 50 oars in 4 hours and having a 100% hit rate? 4 hours and 240 minutes. Looking at 100 oars, the average time spent on one oar was only slightly more than 2 minutes. This was a stone selection, not a cabbage selection on the street. How was this an exam? This was simply making things difficult for him. Sima Yuyue, on the other hand, was very calm. When the timer started, she began to move through the oars. She picked up an oar and looked at it for a few seconds. In less than 10 seconds, she could decide whether to eliminate it or choose it. So fast. Is she choosing the oars, or is she just trying her luck? This speed, it shouldn't be stone selection, right? Have you ever seen anyone choose oars so quickly? She must be guessing. But if she's really guessing, her expression is too calm and confident. This is called being calm in the face of danger. Even if she's not sure, she has to fool others. You speak as if you really know. Someone scoffed at this statement. I believe she's seriously choosing the oars. You don't believe in her ability, you're blindly worshipping her. That's right. I admire her, I believe she has the ability. Otherwise, there wouldn't be such an examination. That's true. Since it's a graduation examination, and it's so difficult, it means that she has the possibility to complete it. Let's wait and see. 2 hours later, the oars were divided into 3 piles. One pile was selected by her, one pile was eliminated by her, and the remaining dozen were uncertain. She had already selected 43 oars, so she had to choose 7 out of the 15. She carefully observed every one of them, and after careful consideration, she made her move. At the last minute, she selected the remaining 7. Master, I've chosen. She said to the spirit-seeking sect master on the stand. Good, open the oars. All the masters in the spirit-seeking sect were dispatched. Some opened the oars she chose, and some opened the remaining ones. The masters who opened the oars she chose were a little nervous. As long as they opened a white stone, she wouldn't be able to pass today's examination. Fortunately, they didn't open a white stone all the way, at least she passed the first round. On the other side, the eliminated oars opened 10 white stones. She didn't choose a single one of the 10 oars. 50 oars, not a single white stone, all right. The person in charge of the examination was Lian Sheng, who had competed with her before. Now that he personally announced her results, his mood was also complicated. She was indeed much better than him. She really hit all the oars. That's amazing. It seems that she didn't guess, or else how could she not choose any of the 10 white stones? So, it's really her ability. Heavens. Ni sat in his seat and said with a smile, these oars were finalized by the guys below for 7 or 8 days. Even I took a day to confirm. That's why it's said that the student has surpassed the master. How does it feel to be surpassed by your own disciple? Very proud, ha 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 ha. Ni laughed. Next, we'll evaluate the value. Lian Qing announced. The elders of the spirit-seeking sect immediately evaluated the value of each oars, then wrote it down on paper, and finally sorted them one by one. In the end, there were 3 oars whose value exceeded the ones she chose, and 5 oars lower than the examination standard. Therefore, she passed the examination smoothly. The square was boiling. Everyone looked at her as if they were looking at a legend. Who's next? Ning Tianya asked. I'll do it. Hu, the formation sect master, said. Seeing Hu come out, no one was surprised. They knew that he was good at formations when Lu Yen advanced. Now that he came out to take the examination, they all believed that she wouldn't have any problems. In the end, Sima Yuyue almost failed here. Chapter 2041. The array test was especially difficult, and the content of the test was something she did not expect. When she heard the content of the test, she could only say that her master thought too highly of her. Who came to the front of the rostrum and said, "My test is very simple. The place you are at has already prepared an array. It's a trap array and you have to come out from it. However, if you activate the hidden array within the array while breaking it, it will become a killing array." She understood this kind of combination array. As long as she found the pattern, it was not too difficult. But when the array was activated, she was depressed. It's actually an imitation of the trap array of the 10 great ancient arrays. "Master, do you really think I'm that powerful?" She could not help but complain. The people outside could not hear her voice, but they could see her lips. Coupled with her expression, they could tell that she was depressed. "Old Hu, you actually used an imitation of an ancient array. Isn't this a little too much?" Helan frowned, feeling indignant for Sima Yuyue. If she can't pass this array, what will she do if she encounters an ancient array in the future? Hu said, "Moreover, you all know about her. If she goes to that place in the future, if she doesn't have any skills, how can she protect herself? If she can't pass, she can stay and continue to learn." Others also felt that what he said made sense. But she's also in a hurry to leave. Although she did not appear to be in a hurry and stayed to stabilize herself, she was still anxious to save her mother. This was not a secret among the higher-ups of the hidden sect. Otherwise, they would not have agreed to let her finish the test in such a short time. Back then, they had a meeting with Sima Yuyue and talked about her situation, including her background, her experience, her growth, the things she did in the human realm and the ghost realm, and so on. In the end, they concluded that she should be the person with the destiny that they had been waiting for. As people of the upper class in this world, they had the obligation to help her grow. That was why they allowed her to study in various sects all these years. They also knew that she should have some kind of treasure that could slow down time, which allowed her to learn so many things in such a short time. More than 20 years in the Spirit Pagoda was more than 200 years. With her talent and foundation, it was not difficult for her to learn. Moreover, they had also calculated that chaos was coming. She had to leave. There were still many things waiting for her to do in this world. Their hearts were filled with pride at the thought that they could personally bring her up. However, she might not be able to pass the array formation exam. Sima Yuyue walked in the array formation. She felt that she was walking in one direction, but to the people outside, she was walking around in a very small area. She felt that the imitation of the ancient formation was more troublesome because it made some changes on the foundation of the ancient formation. It not only had the power of the ancient formation, but also had more changes. Some even had stronger power. Furthermore, this formation had been changed into a combination formation by Hu. Once the killing formation was triggered, it would be disastrous. She was trapped and killed. Moreover, she could feel that the power of the killing array was not any weaker than the trapping array. Thinking of this, she wanted to vomit blood. It was just an exam, but her master was torturing her to death. Whoosh, the sound of the wind rushed over. She moved her body to the side, and a ray of spiritual energy brushed past her ear, scraping the skin on her ear. If he came any closer, her ears would be gone. She had actually triggered the killing array. Sima Yuyue wanted to vomit blood. She had just figured out how to break the trapping array, and now she had triggered the killing array. Now, not only did she have to deal with these attacks, she also had to break the array. Most importantly, the attacks were so fierce that she did not have the time or energy to break the array. Seeing the killing array attack, the crowd was in an uproar. This attack was too fierce. With Sima Yuyue's strength, she would not be able to defend against it. "Old Hu, don't you think you've gone overboard?" The people on the rostrum were also worried. The attack seemed to be too fierce. Only Hu laughed. His previous worries were swept away. "Yuyue is injured. How can you still laugh at this time?" Helan said with a solemn face. "Continue watching." Hu did not explain, but the smile on his face deepened. Is there something fishy? They turned their attention back to Sima Yuyue, only to see that she was badly injured by the attacks and was running around the array. The people on the rostrum were heartbroken. Their goddess had never been in such a sorry state. She was seriously injured and was even forced to run around. Her image was gone. Pfft, she could not dodge in time. A long sword pierced her shoulder, just 2 fingers away from her heart. If it had gone down a little further, old Hu Nilo was anxious. If this continues, she will die. You should quickly deactivate the array. She would have failed the assessment this time. Don't be anxious. Hu's smile did not change, just wait a little longer. Can what? They did not see any signs of her breaking the array. Just wait and see. The tables are about to turn. Hu said. He would not joke about Sima Yoyue's life. Since he said so, everyone could only wait. They waited anxiously, their hearts were in their throats. Fortunately, they did not have to wait for too long. Otherwise, their lives would be shortened. Sima Yuyue was injured again. On her other shoulder, in the same position. She was stabbed again. Now, there was a long sword on each of her shoulders. There were a few broken arrows in her legs and wounds all over her body. However, when her shoulder was stabbed, she smiled. That smile was so confident, so bright. It made people feel that no matter what difficulties they faced, they would not be able to stop her. She would keep moving forward, reaching heights that she had never reached before. Array, rise. Following her shout, an array lit up around her. This array was not big, but it was just enough to protect her. It also weakened the attack of the trapping array. She actually set up an array when she was escaping. Everyone exclaimed. Previously, no one could see that her messy steps were actually drawing array patterns. Old Hu, you saw through it long ago. Nila said. Hu smiled but did not say anything. Is this array able to resist your trapping array? The attack seems to be much weaker. Lu Yen asked. I think so too. It seems to be much smaller. Helan said. It can't be considered a trapping array. Not only did she set up an array, she even borrowed the trapping array's array patterns and used some of the trapping array's power. This way, she can protect herself and weaken the attack. Once she recovers, this formation won't pose any difficulty to her. Hu explained to everyone. Chapter 2042. Sima Yuyu felt that her life had come back to life and she could breathe again. She lay on the ground without caring about her image and took out a pill with difficulty, waiting for her body to recover. Everyone present suddenly fell silent. Sima Yuyue had always been omnipotent and aloof in their hearts. At the same time, they also felt that people like her only had good talent and a good environment. However, looking at her now, other than having good conditions, she was also very hardworking. No, it couldn't be said that she was very hardworking. It should be said that she was desperately hardworking. If they encountered such a situation, they would have surrendered long ago. How could they have persisted until the end, let alone have the thought and ability to arrange an array to give themselves time to breathe? She had the ability and was also very hardworking. That was why she could stand at such a high position. At this moment, no one felt that her image was bad. On the contrary, she was better in their hearts than ever before. Many people secretly decided that they would work harder in the future. The pill quickly stopped the bleeding on her body and restored a lot of her spiritual energy. She collapsed on the ground and looked at the rare blue sky. Her mind was circling around for a while and how to break the array. She didn't care about what others thought of her. Time slowly passed. After resting for half an hour, she finally sat up. The attacks outside were still there. Although they were much weaker, it was still a problem for her who was seriously injured. She sat in her own array formation and took out a few array stones, calmly deducing them. A figure covered in blood and covered in wounds entered the hearts of countless people. From then on, no one was more beautiful than her. After a while, her tightly pursed lips finally rose. At that moment, many people smiled with her. Sima Yuyue picked up the array stones and went to the edge of her array. The moment she removed the array, she disappeared. Disappear, reappear, disappear, and reappear. Although the attacks didn't decrease, she didn't suffer any injuries. She was much calmer than before. Hu smiled. She has already grasped the rules of the killing array. Not bad, not bad. Ning Tianya praised. It was not only because of her ability, but also because of her perseverance. Sima Yuyue walked around the array for a while and inserted the last array stone. The attacks suddenly disappeared. She also walked out of the trapping array. He had finally passed this hurdle. Sima Yuyue raised her head and smiled at Wu Lingyu. Wu Lingyu smiled back at her, and her tightly clenched fists in her sleeves finally relaxed. It was sour. Many people felt sour in their hearts. Her smile was for Wu Lingyu alone. What should they do when they were so envious of him? He really wanted to go up and beat up Wu Lingyu. What should he do? Sima Yuyue came to the rostrum and said, "Master, I'm out." Hu nodded in satisfaction. "Not bad, you've passed my test. You've already competed for 2 days. You can continue with the rest of the assessment after your injuries have healed," Ning Tianya said. "There's no need, Sect Master." Sima Yuyue said, "These are just superficial wounds, there's no need to rest." Although she said so, everyone still gave her half a day to rest. And everyone was willing to wait for her here. Sima Yuyue ate some pills. Some were for healing her injuries, and some were for restoring her mental strength. While she was changing her clothes, she took the opportunity to rest in her spirit pagoda. When she appeared in front of everyone again half a day later, she was already full of energy. "Sect Master, let's begin." "All right. Who's next?" Ning Tianya asked. "I'll do it." Lu Yen said, "In view of your body's condition, I'll do something simple. You only need to play a song. You don't need to attack. You just need to make everyone here fall into your illusion." Everyone present wanted to vomit blood. When he said that he would do something simple, they thought that he was going to go easy on Sima Yuyue and really give her a simple test. They didn't expect him to be the same as the previous ones. He was also a trap. She was already so tired, but he actually wanted her to enchant everyone present. They all had great mental strength. How strong would the sound attack be if all of them were enchanted? Many people were wondering if they would be discovered if they pretended to be enchanted. If they didn't know how to, then they would just have to pretend. Sima Yuyue didn't have any objections. She took out a black musical instrument. She tested the sound and made sure that every note was correct. "What musical instrument is this? Why haven't I seen it before? This sound is like a flute, but it's not a flute. It's quite nice. Let's see what kind of music she can play. No matter what kind of music she plays, I'll be enchanted in a while. Yes, I'll definitely be enchanted too." They emphasized the word definitely, and everyone understood what they meant. Yes, they'll definitely be enchanted too. How could their actions be hidden from the old guys on the rostrum? These guys, don't they know that pretending won't work? Ni Lele was amused. "I've never seen the people in the sect so united." Hu said, "If they were always so united, there wouldn't be so many problems." "That's good too." Helan smiled. Sima Yuyue heard those words too. She was grateful for their kindness, but she didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Let's begin," Lu Yen instructed. Sima Yuyue put the ocarina to her lips. The melodious sound spread throughout the entire North Square. Her musical instrument is so simple, and the sound is a little monotonous. "Is it okay to use this now?" Helan asked Lu Yen. "I don't know. You'll have to see how she performs." Lu Yen said, "And this is the first time I've heard her play this song. Then she'll be taking a risk." Helan said. Don't you know her character? Is she afraid of taking risks? If she is, she won't be able to pass the array formation test. That's true. The song Sima Yuyue played was the song she would listen to every time she went on a mission. The scenery of her hometown could always calm her down. The song wasn't very long. When she played it for the first time, those people didn't think much of it. They just felt that the song was very nice. As they listened to the simple tune, a faint sense of homesickness rose in their hearts. When she played it for the second time, their hearts didn't think of anything else. They just followed the song. When she played it for the third and fourth time, the homesickness in their hearts disappeared. A scene appeared in front of them. In a world filled with white fog, a long river flowed alone. Slowly, living things appeared in the water. Those living things multiplied endlessly. They came from the water to the land and gave birth to new species. In the end, those species disappeared, and only that lonely river was left. Chapter 2043. 1 Second to Remember, Love Divided by You? Reading book web quick update, no pop-up window, free to read. The sound of the flute came again and again, but no one noticed it. They listened to the sound of the flute, but it seemed like they didn't hear it, because their attention was focused on the scene in front of them. In an instant, the world changed. After the sound of the flute stopped, they didn't know how much time had passed, but they felt that the scene just now was too real, as if it really happened. The old guys on the rostrum were the first to recover, and looked at Sima Yuyue with complicated gazes. Yuyue, what you showed us is... Ning Tianye didn't finish his sentence, because he felt that it was too unbelievable. Yes, it's the origin and departure of life in the chaotic world, as well as its current situation. Sima Yuyue said. Hiss, it really is. The old guys were all experienced, although they hadn't been to the chaotic world and hadn't seen it before, they could guess it from the scene. You've been to the chaotic world? Although there was the power of sound in it, such a realistic scene couldn't be shown if they hadn't seen it with their own eyes. Yes, I've been there twice. Sima Yuyue said, I also saw this scene in the river. No wonder. I didn't expect you to have been there, it really is. Ni sighed, but didn't finish his sentence. Master, did I pass this round? Sima Yuyue asked. You passed. Lu Yen nodded. Those people still hadn't recovered, and their eyes were still unfocused. Thank you, Master. She put away the flute. After passing this round, there wasn't much more difficult. It's my turn now. Helan calmed down, and said, you can refine an 11th grade pill. The others slowly came out of the illusion, and before they could discuss the illusion, they heard that she was going to the next round of assessment. Although it was a little difficult to refine an 11th grade pill, it wasn't too harsh. After all, those who came out of the hidden sect had to be at least 10th grade. However, before they could be happy for her, Helan set another condition, at most 8 hours. 8 hours? How could this be? Even the shortest 11th grade medicinal pill would take more than 10 hours. How could he possibly refine it in 8 hours? Don't make a fuss. Since she asked for this, she should be able to fulfill it. Think about the previous ones. Didn't you think it was impossible? But she passed all of them, didn't she? Seems like it. She's about to start. Let's just watch. Sima Yuyue placed the herbs she needed on 3 tables. She didn't have much time this time, so she chose the pill that she was best at. This way, the pressure would be much less. She first checked all the herbs to make sure there were no mistakes before she started to refine the pill. Refining, fusing, and condensing the core. Every step was already ingrained in her bones. Because of its high grade, there were many types of medicinal herbs that needed to be refined. And this was often the most time-consuming. She took out the alchemy furnace, lit it up, and began to refine the medicinal herbs. She threw in more than 10 types of medicinal herbs at once, causing the people on the viewing platform to be shocked again. She can actually refine more than 10 types of medicinal herbs at once. I remember that the best alchemist in the alchemy sect can only refine 7 or 8 types of medicinal herbs at once. Only the elders and above can refine more than 10 types of medicinal herbs. She can actually refine more than 20 types of medicinal herbs. If this is the case, she can save a lot of time just by refining the medicinal herbs. I see. It seems like the 6th elder knows about her abilities. That's why he made such a request. But even so, the time is still a little tight. The alchemists were all experienced alchemists. Someone immediately calculated the time she needed. She's not panicking. She should be planning the time. Let's continue watching. Very soon, they knew what Sima Yue was planning to do. When she was halfway through refining the medicinal herbs, Sima Yue took out another alchemy furnace and placed the previously refined essences into it to fuse them. This was the first time they saw refining and fusing being done at the same time. How can she do this? What if she doesn't manage to refine the medicinal herbs needed for the fusion later on? This furnace of pills will be wasted. The audience couldn't stay calm. This was simply too reckless. Even the old guys on the rostrum frowned in disapproval. 6th elder, don't you think the time limit is too short? Ni protested. My time limit is twice as long as the 4 hours you gave me. Helan said. Ni was rebuked by her, but she couldn't retort back. This was because the time she gave to Sima Yue was indeed too harsh. Yue isn't in a hurry. Why are you guys in a hurry? Lu Yen was very confident in Sima Yue. This time, she would probably become a legend in the secret order. It would definitely be unprecedented. That's right. I'm the only one who knows about Yue's alchemy skills. As for you guys, you can just watch quietly. Helan's lips curled upwards. She was in a good mood. She had previously discovered that Sima Yue could refine more than 20 types of medicinal herbs at the same time. She also knew that Sima Yue had tried to refine and fuse them at the same time. Hence, these 8 hours were definitely more than enough for Sima Yue. However, this would require a high level of mental strength, but it wasn't difficult for her. As she had refined pills many times, she knew how to control the time needed to refine and fuse them. The entire refining process was surprisingly smooth. Fusing, condensing the pill and absorbing the pill lightning were all done in one go. When the pill was handed over to Helan, there was still half an hour before the time limit she had set. Helan inspected the pill. Its color and effects were not bad. Very good. You've passed my test. She returned the pill to Sima Yue. Thank you, master. Sima Yue said gratefully. Helan had taught her a lot over the years. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to advance so smoothly. The spectators on the viewing platform were also happy for her. This way, she would be able to leave the secret order after passing all the examinations. However, the person on the rostrum did not move. It seemed like she had no intention of leaving. I'll give you half a day to recover your mental strength. After half a day, we'll move on to the next one. Ning Tianya said. Yes, Order Master. Sima Yue ate the pill and went to the side to rest and recover her mental strength. What else is she going to take? Could it be the poison sex examination? It should be. I heard that the poison sect had invited her to join them early in the morning. That should be it. Half a day later, Sima Yue had more or less recovered. She returned to the plaza and prepared for the next examination. However, the most shocking thing was that the person who had stood up to set the questions was not the poison sex order master. Instead, it was Qing Cheng who had been at odds with her from the moment she had joined the sect and had tortured her grandson for half a year. Qing Cheng looked at Sima Yue and asked, Yue, are you ready? Chapter 2044. It was really Qing Cheng who came to take the test. When did she become Qing Cheng's disciple? Didn't they fight so fiercely back then? How did they become Qing Cheng's disciple? Everyone subconsciously looked at Qing Kai. Qing Kai was not unhappy or angry. Instead, he looked proud. What was going on? Could it be that he had forgotten that Sima Yu had made him drink the primer? At that time, they all thought that Qingqing would seek revenge on Sima Yu. Everyone was puzzled. Who knew that they had secretly become Qingqing's disciple? It seemed that she was really a beast tamer. Do you guys think that there will be other tests after she completed this? Who knows? Even if she takes all the tests today, I won't be surprised. Me too. I'm quite calm now. Sima Yu's mental strength was very strong. Taming beasts only required mental strength, so this round of the exam was not a problem and passed smoothly. Just when everyone thought that there would be another round, Ning Tianya announced that the test was over. She had successfully completed all the tests. There's no poison test? That's right. Did she not join the poison sect? Many people asked. Ning Tianya had to answer, she only interacted with the poison sect. She did not formally become their disciple. Therefore, there is no test. Alright, everyone can disperse. Sima Yu left with her masters. Those people wanted to look for her but did not dare to go in front of the sect leader. They could only watch as she left. It had to be said that the beginning of the apprenticeship test had a huge impact on everyone. They had no choice but to reevaluate their position. They used to think that they were geniuses. Now that they were compared, they were all trash. Let's go back and cultivate. Sima Yu chatted with her masters for a while. When she came out, she saw Wu Lingyu leading Fu Shi and the other two. Where did you guys go? Sima Yu asked. Something happened. By the time we rushed back, we had already missed your previous assessment. Fu Shi said. After being together for so many years, she knew Fu Shi's temperament. The reason why he said something like this was not because it was too small, but because it was too important to talk about. You must be tired from the past few days. Go back and rest first, Wu Lingyu said. All right. As soon as Sima Yu returned to her courtyard on the small mountain, she realized that something was wrong. Her house was actually filled with the aura of many people. Because there would always be people interested in her life, her courtyard was protected by a barrier. If they didn't know the method, they wouldn't be able to get in. Of course, the people inside couldn't come out if they didn't know the way. After entering the yard, she asked Fu Shi and Starfish, who are these people? What's going on? Fu Shi explained the situation and then took credit. If it weren't for me, these two little fellows would be in danger. Thank you. Sima Yu snorted and came in front of these people. She kicked one of them and said, Who are these people? Have you found anything yet? Not yet. It's been so many days and you still haven't found them? Sima Yu was surprised. This is not the efficiency of the three of you. We haven't had time to interrogate them yet. Fu Shi said, We brought them back and left them here. Then we went to watch your test. Sima Yu was speechless. Didn't these guys think that it was more important to interrogate these people? She turned her gaze to Starfish and Hai Shi. Starfish smiled. It's more important to watch your master's test. Most importantly, even if they got the information, they had to wait for her to come out. So it was better to go and watch first. Sima Yu knew what they were thinking. She shook her head helplessly and turned to walk out. At the same time, she said, Let's start now. I'm going to wash up. I hope you'll have the results when I come back. She had been tired for a few days and needed to take a bath and rest. While she was taking a bath, these people had tortured her. Although Starfish and Hai Shi had been following her, it was actually Wu Lingyu who had been training them. In addition, they had learned a lot from Sima Yu and Wu Lingyu. They were very good at dealing with people. In fact, Starfish and Hai Shi had been practicing in the Spirit Pagoda all these years, so their strength was not what it seemed to be. Fu Shi knew that she had a place where they could practice. He thought it was a small world, so he was not surprised that they were not there from time to time. He helped them, not because they could not defeat the other party, but because he had promised Sima Yuyue that he would protect them when she was not there. If they were taken away, he would not be able to explain it. When Yuyue came back with Wu Lingyu after taking a bath, they had finished interrogating these people. Did you get the information? Yes, they said that they were entrusted by the vice sect leader, so they knew that we were here. They also said that they would take us away first, and if you went to find us, they would kill you halfway. Starfish said angrily. These people are very brave. Sima Yuyue said faintly, what force are they from? They dared to come and snatch Starfish and Hai Shi, and even wanted to attack her. She had to admire their courage. They are the people from the dark auction house. Hai Shi clenched his hands. The memory of the past came back with this name. The underground auction house that auctioned you? Yes. That's right. Only people like them are not afraid of anything. Sima Yuyue said, what's the matter with the jade pendant? They said that this belongs to a person they are going to auction this time. They are just small soldiers, so they have not seen her before. But the higher-ups asked them to bring this here, so they came. Hi, she said. Master, this jade pendant belongs to Little Ant. We suspect that she is the one who is going to be auctioned this time. Starfish said. Sima Yuyue saw that he wanted to say something but stopped. She continued, you want to go? Yes. Starfish admitted. He raised his head and looked at Sima Yuyue. Seeing that she was not angry, he continued, when the Hai family met with such a disaster, those without bloodline were killed, and those with bloodline were captured. Little Ant is about the same age as us, so we were auctioned together. We went to the triangular area, but she was nowhere to be found. After so many years, we can't just ignore the news of her again. Alright, then let's go and take a look. Sima Yuyue said, but you have to remember that many of your clansmen are still alive. You can't find all of them. Only when you meet them, can you save them. Don't be obsessed with it, understand? Thank you, Master. They did not expect her to agree so easily. Before we leave, let's return a big gift. Sima Yuyue's lips curled up, but the smile did not reach her eyes. Chapter 2045. Sima Yuyue immediately brought her people to look for Ning Tianya. The various sect masters and elders of the main sect were still with him. When they heard that Sima Yuyue had come, they were rather surprised. Why is this girl here again? Wasn't she in a hurry to leave just now? Ning Tianya smiled. Let her in. Sima Yuyue brought the starfish Hai Shi up. Behind them, there were people who carried those people in. This made everyone shocked. Who are these people? Lu Yan asked. Let the starfish tell you. Sima Yuyue said. But before that, let's call the vice sect master over to listen. Wei? Why are you asking her to come? When she comes, everyone will naturally know. Sima Yuyue said. Ning Tianya sent people to invite Wei. Because the sect master had personally appeared, she arrived very quickly. When she saw those people on the ground, her eyes flashed, but she didn't show any abnormalities. Alright, Wei is here. What's the matter? Can you say it now? Ning Tianya said. Sima Yuyue didn't delay any longer. She bowed towards Ning Tianya and said, Sect Master, please help me. They had never seen her like this before. Everyone felt that it was strange. What's the matter? Say it. If you've really been wronged, I will help you. Ning Tianya said. Sima Yuyue looked at the starfish. The starfish recounted how she was tricked out and the results of the interrogation. When they heard that these people actually dared to come to the secret sect to kidnap people and even wanted to kill Sima Yuyue, everyone was enraged. Sima Yuyue was someone whom they had raised to conform to the times. These people actually dared to have designs on her. If Fushi hadn't been alert enough to save them, I would have definitely gone to save them after the assessment. At that time, I'm afraid that even if I passed the apprenticeship assessment, I wouldn't be able to walk out of the secret sect alive. Sima Yue continued the starfish's words. Sect Master, ever since I came to the secret sect, the Vice Sect Master has always disliked me. She has been making things difficult for me behind Master's back. Out of respect for her as an elder, I tolerated these things and didn't tell Master. Now, she actually called people from the underground auction house to snatch my people and even wanted to kill me. No matter what, I can't take this lying down. Sovereign, please uphold justice for me. The hall immediately quieted down. Everyone's gaze turned towards Mo Wei. Lu Yan's gaze, in particular, was cold, causing Mo Wei's heart to tighten. However, she was not an easy person to deal with. Her expression didn't change as she said, Yue, you've been in the sect for over 20 years. Although I'm not close to you, you can't slander me like this. These people have nothing to do with me. They said that I asked them to come. Do you have any proof? These people are all here. Vice Sect Leader, what other evidence do you want? Sima Yue asked. These people are nothing. Anyone can make them do this kind of thing. If they say it's me, I can also say it's them framing me. Mo Wei said. Seems like Vice Sect Leader has already thought of a way out. Sima Yue laughed coldly. I'm speaking the truth. You have no proof. Just based on the fact that I don't like you all these years, you say it's me. Isn't that too rash? Sect Leader and the others won't think it's me just because you say it like that. Mo Wei's smile didn't change. Yes, these people's words might be useless. But where's your servant Lu Su? Why didn't she come with you? Sima Yue asked. Lu Su has been helping me handle the sect's matters all these years. Naturally, she's gone to handle things now. Mo Wei said. Is that really the case? Sima Yue said faintly, are you sure she didn't go to find these people? Mo Wei's hands clenched slightly as she denied, of course not. So, if she didn't go to handle the sect's matters, can it be considered as proof? Sima Yue asked. She's alone. Even if she handled the sect's matters well, she would still have other matters to attend to. Do you think this can be considered as proof? Mo Wei retorted and said angrily, what's the point of slandering me like this? Sect Leader, could it be that the sect's rules allow disciples to slander the sect leader as they wish? If I'm slandering you, you can ask the sect leader to expel me from the sect. You can kill me or torture me as you wish. Sima Yue said coldly, but, if I'm not slandering you, then you're colluding with outsiders to steal my people and even want to kill me. Wouldn't you be the same? Sect Leader, may I ask, if this is true, how will you uphold justice for me? This. Ning Tianya was somewhat hesitant, what do you plan to do? I've always believed in killing those who try to kill me. Sima Yue said, if I can prove that Vice Sect Leader did these things, then hand her over to me. Ning Tianya looked at Mo Wei and asked, Vice Sect Leader Mo, are you willing to accept her conditions? All right. With so many people watching, she couldn't have the slightest bit of hesitation. Moreover, every step she took was done very carefully. She didn't leave any evidence at all. She didn't believe that Sima Yue would be able to find anything. Yue, if you have any evidence, then take it out. Helan said. Masters, Sect Leader, please wait for a moment. I still need some time to obtain this evidence. Sima Yue said. Do you need time to obtain it or time to fabricate it? Mo Wei snorted coldly, we don't have that much time to waste with you. Vice Sect Leader, don't be anxious. The two of you have to meet. Sima Yue said. Mo Wei heard her words and felt her heart tighten. However, she felt that it was impossible. These people were all here. Lu Su was so smart. If she didn't meet them, she wouldn't say anything. After a while, Sima Yue received the news and said to everyone, Sect Leader, Masters, Vice Sect Leader Mo, I'll now present my evidence. Vice Sect Leader Mo, look carefully. See if this evidence was forged by me. After she finished speaking, she released a ray of spiritual energy into the air. An image appeared in the air. Looking at the environment, it was obviously in some mountain. The main character inside was Lu Su, who was handling things. Lu Su was searching in the mountain. Suddenly, she saw a ground full of corpses and a heavily injured black-clothed person. Lu Su obviously recognized that person. When she saw her, she frowned and said, "What's wrong with you? Didn't you say that you would take the two sluts away during the graduation exam? Why are you still here? Take them away. You and Mo Wei are both liars." That person sat on the ground and said, "You called us here and said that as long as Sima Yuyue wasn't here, the remaining people would be easy to deal with. However, the other party isn't like what you said. The people we brought with us are all dead, and those two people even managed to escape. If you tell us the truth, we can make more preparations. Your people were all killed by them? You have so many people and you can't even deal with two little dolls? Useless." After Lu Su finished scolding, she remembered something very important. Do they know that we were the ones behind this? Chapter 2046. Ever since Lu Su and that person met, Mo Wei's face had turned pale. Because that person looked exactly the same as the person lying on the ground. But this person was here. Then who was the person talking to Lu Su? Lu Su's clothes were only worn today, so this couldn't have been recorded beforehand. Then, what was up with that person? And the conversation between the two made her unable to refute. When they heard this, everyone understood that all of this was indeed Mo Wei's doing behind the scenes. Of course they don't know. That person said, "They interrogated us, but we didn't say anything." But these people also guessed that it was definitely done by the people in the sect and wanted to go back and investigate. If I didn't pretend to be dead just now, I'm afraid I wouldn't have been able to escape this calamity. So they didn't suspect us? Lu Su said faintly as she walked behind that person. Her eyes were filled with killing intent. Yes. You all did very well. Seeing that you didn't tell us, I will collect your corpses. Lu Su said as she condensed her spiritual power and hit the back of his head. But her hand stopped in midair. The person who was on the ground just now somehow came to her side and grabbed her hand. What a black-hearted woman. A cold and disgusted voice made Lu Su understand that this person wasn't injured at all. Who are you? Lu Su's lifeline was grabbed and she didn't dare to attack as she asked coldly. Who am I? You will know in a while. Let's go. Mi-air grabbed her hand and the two disappeared from the spot. The corpses on the ground also disappeared and the valley returned to its previous tranquility. The hall was dead silent. Sima Yuyue didn't need to say anything. Everyone understood. But the first to break the silence were Mi-air and Lu Su. Yu, I've brought him. Mi-air said to Sima Yuyue and pushed Lu Su to the ground. Her face was right in front of the person on the ground. Exactly the same. She looked at the person on the ground in horror, then turned to look at Mi-air. It was really exactly the same. It's been hard on you. Sima Yuyue nodded at him. Mi-air transformed into Sima Yuyue and stood beside her. An adult and a child, a man and a woman. Their faces were the same, but they looked exceptionally harmonious. This. Lu Su was stunned. The others were also stunned. Mi-air is my contracted beast. Sima Yuyue said, Mi-air doesn't have any other abilities, but its ability to transform is not bad. Vice sect leader, do you still want me to give you other evidence? Hee, Sima Yuyue, I didn't expect you to be so scheming. If I had known earlier, I would have killed you the moment you entered the sect. You've been an eyesore for me for so many years. Then I'll have to trouble you. Sima Yuyue sneered, Sect Master, we've agreed that as long as I present the evidence, she will be mine to deal with. Can I take her now? This. Ning Tianyan knew about the matter between Lu Yan and Mo Wei, so he looked at Lu Yan. Lu Yen remained silent and agreed to Sima Yoyue's request. Mo Wei panicked when she saw that Lu Yen didn't say anything. She cried out, "Lu Yen, what did you promise my father? What's the meaning of your silence now? Haven't I done enough for you all these years?" Lu Yen asked, "If it wasn't for your father's entrustment, would you be able to do whatever you want in the sound sect for so many years? So, you don't admit it now, right?" Mo Wei asked, "Lu Yen, don't forget, you said that if I'm in danger, you'll save me to repay my father's kindness. I haven't repaid the debt of saving your life, so you haven't repaid it yet." Sima Yue knew that Lu Yen tolerated Mo Wei for a reason, but she didn't expect her father to be involved. Although she didn't know what happened in between, she could roughly guess. "So, I can't kill you today? If you want your master to fall into hell forever, you can try." "Try?" Sima Yue looked at Lu Yen and said, "Forget it, I'm not like you. On the surface, you seem to like my master, but in fact, the person you love the most is yourself. You said that my master owes you a debt of saving his life, so I'll consider it repaid today. You can leave." Yue. Lu Yan's face darkened, disagreeing with her way of doing things. "Master, there's a saying that goes, a master for a day is a father for life. There's also another saying that goes, a son must repay a father's debt. So it's only right that I help you repay this debt of saving your life today." Sima Yue said, "But, Mo Wei, if I see you again in the future, it'll be the time I take your life. It's still not certain who will win or lose." Mo Wei glared at her furiously, knowing that she couldn't stay in the Yin sect any longer and could only choose to leave. She had been in the Yin sect for so many years and had done many things for the Yin sect, but in the end, she couldn't compare to a person who had just joined the sect for more than 20 years. She saw that there were so many people, but no one was willing to speak up for her. She reckoned that they were all biased towards Sima Yue. So, this kind of sect wasn't worth her reluctance. "Lu Su, let's go." She called out to Lu Su out of habit, but was stopped by Mi-Er. "Master only owes you her life, not hers. So, you can only leave on your own." Sima Yue said. Or perhaps you're willing to give up this chance to live to her because of your deep relationship as master and servant. Give up this chance to live? How could that be possible? She was just a servant girl, so what if she died? Mo Wei retracted her gaze from Lu Su and walked out in large strides. When she passed by Sima Yue, she stopped and glared daggers at Sima Yue, as if she wanted to cut Sima Yue into pieces. "Just you wait." She gritted her teeth as she spat out these words. Then, she left the Yin sect without looking back. "Thank you, sect master, for seeking justice for me. Since the matter has been settled, I'll head back first." Sima Yue bowed towards them and instructed Hai Shi and the rest, "Bring her back. We'll settle our old scores with her." Hai Xing went forward and pulled Lu Su, who was paralyzed on the ground, away. The master and servant left the main hall just like that. These old fellows, on the other hand, had not said a single word from the beginning to the end. They did not even open their mouths and the matter had been settled. Ning Tianya noticed that Lu Yan's expression was not too good and said, "I was wondering why this matter had escalated to this place based on her personality. Now, I know that she did it all for your sake. Even if she had to leave, she wanted to solve this problem for him and give him a peaceful life so that he could truly obtain spiritual freedom. She had always known that his heart had been imprisoned." Lu Yan smiled. "I'm clearly the master." News of Mo Wei's departure from the Yin sect quickly spread. The disciples sighed and thought that it was better to be talented. Otherwise, if this matter had happened to them, who would give them justice? Otherwise, why would the Yin sect have the rule of not caring about the grudges between disciples? Chapter 2047. Sima Yue was in a good mood after chasing away Mo Wei, who had always been an eyesore. In the past 20 years, she and Lu Su had caused trouble for her from time to time, but it didn't hurt at all. She couldn't let the sect do anything to her. Yue had been waiting for her to make a move for a long time. This time, she was finally ruthless. How could she let go of such a good opportunity? They returned to the courtyard and handed Lu Su over to Hai Xing and the others. They knew how to deal with her and what to ask from her. As for the people from the underground auction, she left them with Ning Tianya. They would take care of them. Wu Lingyu returned to the house with her and asked, "When do you plan to leave?" "In the next 2 days. Sima Yuyue said, "Hai Xing is worried about her little aunt. It's better to go and see if it's true. If the things here are settled, we can leave." Wu Lingyu said. "Why? Did something happen in the Devil Realm?" Sima Yuyue asked. Wu Lingyu smiled and rubbed her hair. He couldn't hide anything from her. "It's nothing. They will take care of it." He didn't plan to tell her those things. She didn't have to worry about it. "Then I'll tell Master and the others. We'll leave tomorrow." Sima Yuyue said, "If I knew, I would have told the sect leader." Knowing that all the sect leaders had returned, she could only bid farewell to them one by one. When they returned, it was already the next day. The people from the Een sect knew that she was leaving. They were very reluctant and wanted to send her off. In the end, when they went to her courtyard, they found that she was already gone. "Didn't you say that you would leave after we came to say goodbye?" Konoha Chi was unhappy. "We're all going back. Won't we never see her again?" "There will be a chance in the future," Kanan said. "The clans summoned us back. How can there be a chance?" Konoha Chi pursed his lips. "Have you forgotten about the guy beside her?" Kanan asked. "You mean Fushi?" "That's right," Kanan said. When they first saw Fushi, the two of them were surprised. They didn't expect to see him here. Everyone above knew that he wouldn't live for many years, but they saw him slowly growing up. This meant that his problem had been solved. Needless to say, it was Sima Yuyue who helped him. He still hasn't gone back yet. He must be trying to kidnap her up there. Jia Nanshin continued, "I heard that he's stubborn, and won't give up until he gets what he wants. Look, he'll bring her up there soon. But Yuyue still has a lot of things to do," she also told us. Konoha Chi said, "How long will it take for her to finish those things? Will Fushi have that much time to wait for her?" "It won't take long. The flow of time up there is different from the flow of time here. I don't even feel that much time has passed when I return." Kanan thought to himself. "But I still feel uncomfortable in my heart. Why did she leave without even saying goodbye?" Konoha Chi felt very hurt. He really treated the two of them as friends, but they didn't even say goodbye. Konoha Chi, Kanan Xian. Lu Yan's servant came from the side of the mountain and called the two. "What's the matter?" "This is what Yuyue left for you." The man handed 2 boxes to them and said, Yuyue said, "See you up there." Kanan Xian stared at Konoha Chi's words, put away the box and took him away. When they walked out of the sound gate, Konoha Chi couldn't help but ask, "How did she know that we came down from above?" Kanan Xian also felt strange. Did Fushi tell her? "We know him, but he doesn't know us. How could he know our identity?" Konoha Chi said. "Then how did she know? Maybe there's something we don't know." Kanan Xian opened the box she gave. Inside was a small array. They didn't lack it, so they didn't use it. It was just a memory. Since she said "see you up there," it means that she has plans to go up there. Then we can go back. Well, let's go prepare for the graduation exam. At this time, Sima Yu was already very far away from the hidden sect. They sat on their flying beasts and flew towards the location of the next auction. "Konoha Chi and Kanan Xian are from our place?" Fushi heard Sima Yu say and shouted in surprise. "You don't know?" Sima Yu looked at Fushi, thinking that he knew, but didn't say it. "We do have Konoha clan and Kanan clan, but I've never seen them before. How could I recognize them?" Fushi's personality was not arrogant, but at least he was arrogant. How could ordinary people enter his eyes? I thought you were keeping secrets. Sima Yuyue said. So they know about me? Fushi asked. What do you think? Sima Yuyue said, with your fame, who doesn't know about you? That's true. It's tiring to be so famous. Fushi sighed, his words were arrogant. Even I didn't recognize them, how did you? Chanjiu recognized them. Sima Yuyue said, he stayed up there before and happened to see them, so he told me. I see. Konoha-chi knows that you're going up, so he won't miss you and leave without saying goodbye. I don't have a choice. If we wait for those people to come, it'll be troublesome for us to leave. It's better to leave quietly. Sima Yuyue said, they'll understand. We're going to the underground auction. Are we going to participate or just snatch them? Fushi asked excitedly. No matter what, he liked it. It's not practical to snatch them directly. Wu Lingyu said. That's true. We have to plan well first. Sima Yuyue said. The underground auction was very careful. Every auction was held at a different location. They would send invitations to some of their regular customers. Only those with invitations could attend. Of course, the invitation card could also be given to someone else. This was the so-called the old bringing in the new. Even so, the auction would not reveal the specific location. They would only know on the day of the auction. These locations could be found in all kinds of places, such as mountains, the bottom of lakes, basements, and so on. Moreover, these places were not their strongholds at all. Even if someone followed this trail, they would only find places that had nothing to do with them. Sima Yuyue always felt that this kind of situation could not be described as a cunning rabbit having 3 burrows. Fortunately, these people know the location of the next auction. Otherwise, we wouldn't know where to find them. Sima Yuyue said, when we get there, don't act rashly. You're tuning in to the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.